music faded down. And
What's up,
we
guys?
Are
How's
here.
it going?
Hello, and welcome.
Just showing some old pics
The
of
Rag
next day
Company
Nate to the
podcast.
team.
That's great. Yeah, he looks.
I'm Dane Hennen.
Yeah.
Way to introduce it. Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Of course.
Doppelganger.
Sometimes
So
somebody's
we're
got to
only-
step up to the plate, Dane, is what that is.
We're only 6 minutes
Someone
late,
needs to lint
so
roll your back.
not too bad.
Mm.
Dane's back or Anthony's back?
Anthony's. The light really
Sleeping with
captures
oh
the
my
golden
gosh.
retriever fur.
Okay, so here's the deal.
That is,
Unless okay, I don't
pretty
want to hear a complaint unless you have a resolution. Unless you're gonna go get a lint roller
That's
and
some
do it
tape.
Oh,
Fair.
do it myself.
Back.
Okay.
All right, Hans closing. Yay,
Solid.
it's Q&A day again. John Hill. It's the first time in a month I've been able to listen live.
Welcome.
I missed you, TRC. John, that's the same for me.
what is your plan?
Feels like it's been a month, but it's only been like 2 weeks. So
But see, that's
very
what happens.
excited. Danny Israel says, welcome back. It's Thursday. Woot woot. Back from
Thank you for the
Snowmageddon.
welcome. Yes, it was.
K&M. Levi, did you sign my TRC sticker specifically with a gold Sharpie? Because I requested you sign it with a silver Sharpie.
I saw that, and then it was too late.
I think they forged my signature. I don't
Oh
remember
my.
doing that. But I always like signing in gold because you understand gold's the color of money. That's what I'm all about.
You actually were here that day. You did sign that one.
Okay.
I'm
well,
pretty sure.
Guess I did.
They brought it around, and I was one of the last ones, and I noticed he said silver, but he wanted you to sign silver, and
I
it didn't
signed it in
happen.
gold, baby.
It's
'cause
okay.
I'm
You
number
did.
one.
You did.
Yeah,
You.
I
That's
don't
what
know if
matters.
that's
As
how that
the-
works.
As the king of the rag company, I like
Mm.
to sign things in gold,
Mm.
which is my right.
Oh,
That's your
Um,
right.
yeah.
so it's monarchy now. All right,
No.
moving along.
Steve Spencer off to watch this later today. Sorry, Steve, you're going to be missing out. Riley S., I'm happy I get to join in today. It's been a while. Hope the crew is doing well. Thank you, Riley S.
We are good.
We're hanging in there.
Yeah.
Dane went
Straight
to the
vibing.
store and got us some sodas,
Beverages.
You're
some
welcome.
drinks.
These
some great,
coasters are rad. Where did these come
So,
from?
Dane, fun
talk about
fact, these coasters that are now part of the Rag Company podcast studio,
Solution package.
they're part of the solution package for listening and beverage solution package, are from our good friend Dan Digna,
Ooh,
longtime
Dan.
listener and friend of the program.
Thank you, Dan.
Sent us some pretty wicked, what do they say there, Anthony?
National Security Agency, United
NSA.
States of America. Now, this is a very sharp
Yeah.
coaster
It's a
here
piece
that
of
could
slate.
possibly be used as a weapon in a worst-case scenario.
Well, say you're like a spy and you're having yourself some coffee. You're hanging out in the NSA.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, whoop, got to use this. Use it like a throwing star.
So that's exactly what this is, Dane, but I really
It's so
enjoy the
sharp.
fact that it does have this soft, plush feel when you actually put it down.
well, that's
with
because
these,
it is a coaster,
yeah.
and it wouldn't be
Yep.
a coaster if it didn't gently
Yeah.
set down on a tabletop.
So it feels nice. There's nothing
It
really quite
does.
like putting your drink on a nice piece of slate. So
Yeah,
moving
these
down
feel
to
quality, Dan. Thank you.
Danny Israel says, I'm thinking about a little carpet cleaner for our car. Debating on the little green Pro Heat Bissell Levi has, or the bigger, more powerful, but no heat Spot Clean Pro.
So, Danny, I replied back to you on that text you sent me. Basically, like I said, I don't notice any heat coming from mine, probably because I don't run it long enough to generate heat.
Yeah.
What I do is just fill it with hot water because I
Yeah.
actually burn through it pretty quickly. Remember, it's designed for spot cleaning, so if you're actually going to use it to shampoo full carpets, it's just worth having a lot of hot water and putting it on there. But you're going to burn
So-
it out faster than you're going to run through the hot water faster than you're going to heat it up.
I think that with any one of those smaller little spot cleaners, you can just throw hot water in and it's going to remain hot. So
Yeah.
I picked up that one from that garage sale. It was
Right.
a Spot Clean Pro pet version, right?
Yep.
Which is one of those weird ones where you can actually set it down and it has a spinner underneath it that'll clean a spot by just setting it there. Or if you want to use the wand, you can use the wand with the whole attachment. But I had just filled mine with hot water.
Yep.
And a little splash of O&R.
Yep.
And it does the
That's
job.
all I do is a little
Uh-huh.
hot water and O&R. It's delicious.
So we have
Don't drink it.
Ox 4 Pina.
Ox
4
fours
Simpina.
Ox 4 Sniper.
Ox 4 Sniper.
Okay.
So hello from the UK, TRC.
Hey.
I've been wanting to try out the Wowo's range for a while now. Crystal sealant always catches my eye. P.S. I love the branding.
Thanks.
Ooh.
Wow.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, much thanks.
Yeah.
Future Prison. Hey, the G-Technic journey sounded like a wild ride. Anyway, time to bust out that trusty old red Scotch Brite with the dishes. Finest morning fresh and give the cherry a bath. Have fun with that, Future
Oh.
Prison. That sounds like a great time.
Yeah.
Yep.
We got Ricky Colon says, hi again from Puerto Rico.
What's up, Ricky?
Hello
One of
again.
our favorite Grand Ambassadors, and I can't say favorite, but one of our Q1 Grand Ambassadors of 2020. If you haven't heard of the TRC Grand Ambassador program, head to the Rag Company's Instagram, find the Grand Ambassador post, and check out all about it.
If you're
Good
the kind of
stuff.
person who goes around asking sponsorship, that's where you get it from us.
We got Scott Weaver saying, glass coatings, yay or nay?
Depends on the glass and depends on what you drive in and what you need. Honestly, for most folks that don't get a lot of rain, don't have to worry about it as much, bead maker or a quick detailer or even just a coat of wax
That
on
can do a
your
lot.
window will help. For those of you that if you're in a detail shop, I recommend you try and upsell glass coatings because they're very inexpensive and it's a very fast, easy way to make $100.
Recommended on commuter cars.
Yeah.
What are
and,
some of the glass coatings that you would recommend off the top of your head?
I used to use like glass, OptiGlass Pro.
Yeah.
I've used, I like using CarPro Flyby 30 is a good one as well. But honestly, like make sure that you're selling something that has a glass coating because it just makes it's just an easy, like I said, it's easy upsell, easy way to provide a level of protection for a customer, especially if you're coating. It's a great way to get an extra
Yeah.
$100.
Yeah.
Because you can't coat the front windshield with just the regular ceramic coating. You have to use a glass specific.
Correct.
Right.
And so that's usually what I told my customers. I'll coat everything but the front windshield because I can't because of the friction of the wipers. I need a higher grade coating for that.
Yeah.
And that's what I would.
Well,
use
I
that.
think a fun fact, right? Something fun that we found out
Yes.
last
Great
week
product.
is that we used crystal sealant on the glass in a pinch, right? We were actually in a torrential downpour, and we needed something that was going to add a little bit more clarity to the windshield
Well, it was just because
on a
the
rental car.
wipers couldn't keep up. There was so much water just sitting on
And
the
it was
window.
very smeary. There was something on that windshield
Yeah.
before. Something.
So we ended up doing is cleaning off the windshield, kind of, I wouldn't say prepping it, but cleaning
We
it
did. We cleaned it
thoroughly.
with steel wool.
Steel wool.
And then what we did from there is we applied crystal sealant. And while we have tested crystal sealant on side windows, as we've tested it on paint and all these other applications on
It's our
vinyl
first
and trim,
time on
this
front.
was our first time on a front windshield.
And actually getting to drive with it
Yeah.
and see the results.
And that rain
In a
is
time
the
of
ultimate
need.
Well,
test.
Yeah.
and what I said is guys, I don't know why you're putting this on because the friction's going to wear that off
Yeah, you were
here
sure it
in
was-
like 20 or 30
Pretty sure
minutes
you said
because
it.
it
You
was
said
so
that out loud.
it was freshly applied.
Yeah.
And I was very, very wrong.
It held up.
We had those, so it held up all the way until we turned the rental car in.
Yeah.
But what was amazing was I'm sitting there like, these wipers are going full speed.
Yeah.
And I'm laughing. I said, Dane, any second, like there's going to be
It's gonna
nothing
fail.
left and it's going to fail and we're going to be back to
didn't.
square one.
Not once.
And then it just kept going.
3
and then
days.
and then Dane was like, hey, actually, Anthony, to just say, screw you, I'm just going to go without the wipers for a while.
Yep.
And I said, man,
Let's see
I
how
was,
it looks.
I was very proven wrong on that, and I feel kind of bad. But there you go. So if
Yeah,
you
it
want
worked
a
great in a
very
pinch.
cheap,
Yeah.
And we were
option.
worried, we were driving and it was like, man, once we get to a detail shop, let's just clean the glass, see what they got. We'll throw it on there real quick. We didn't even think about using crystal sand. We had some product that we had brought,
Yeah.
but it was for the show.
It was
Yeah.
meant to
They
be
were
a display model.
And so it wasn't until we were like, let's just, you know what, let's just grab the
Yeah.
crystal, we'll give it a quick spritz and see what we can do. And it worked out.
Yeah.
It
yeah.
was awesome.
We
So
liked it.
they work great, and honestly, it's a lot safer when your windshield is more hydrophobic, and that is truthful. Like, it was hard where we were driving when we were in a tornado
Oh.
warning, flash flood
That
warning.
was
Yeah.
that was a
in Atlanta.
safety concern.
It was hard to see, and so this provided a lot better visibility for us in the van.
Crystal sealant made driving at least twice as safe as it had been before. So
Yep.
yeah.
So so that's another way to sell it is safety, because you never
Yeah.
know when you're going to get caught in something like that. So Riley S., what is an effective Power Clean winter pre-wash dilution that is protection safe? 10, 20 to 1, 10 to 1 really.
10 to 1 is
probably
pretty
gonna
much
be all you
what I
really
said,
need.
but-
Don't go below that.
If you don't want to worry about that, I'd just go with like getting something like OptiClean or even like Woolworth's Waterless Wash and using that as a pre-soak.
Something closer to neutral.
Yeah,
Yeah.
spray that on and then wash. Vigor, hey, all my favorite people.
Oh,
What's
what's
up,
Hey.
dude?
up, dude?
What is going on?
Joe, I hope you're having a good
Buddy Joe.
good time. We had a great time hanging out with you this last weekend. That was fun.
Yeah, it was.
Hans closing. Yay, music.
Museum.
Musiac. Cornelius Walker. Simply Clean Mobile Detailing here. Which window cloths would you recommend? Cornelius. We really like diamonds. They're great. FTWs are great. And actually, right now, you can pick up waffle weaves on sale.
Ooh.
There's a
buy
BOGO
one,
sale
get
going
one
on
free.
right now.
Is
It's our
Some
first
of
ever
our-
The
first ever
waffle waves
BOGO
are
sale.
like the standard. They're just good all
Yeah,
around.
standard waffles, and you pick up the blue diamond glass. The combination of the two is incredible, so you can pick up both of them. But yeah, it's a buy one, get one free right now. First ever BOGO sale that the Rag Company's ever done, and it's going until the 17th, so
And-
this would be the time to pick some up.
If you've got a moment, after this live is over, obviously you want to stay here for it. But we do have several videos where Levi's done it. If you type in window cleaning and the Rag Company into a YouTube search, you'll find our videos. And they're really straightforward. They show you how he uses them with the towels. So there you go. Moving down the line.
We got
Getzel back at it.
yep.
So first off, my question is, how do I get a detailer sponsorship of Dixon Flannel? Because their sales have gone up since we broke the internet with our Dixon squad.
Yep.
Luke Berge bought one.
Luke bought
What?
one.
Luke bought
Yeah.
one. It got delivered today.
Yeah.
No, what did
way.
Luke get?
He hasn't
No idea.
He hasn't. He's just shown it wrapped in the Dixon bag.
I'm waiting for the reveal.
I wanna see what he got
Eagerly
here.
waiting.
Yeah.
Jeff C says, "Hello from sunny Phoenix.
Oh.
Hope that Dan Pfeiffer is staying warm back home in Minneapolis,
Yeah.
as we all know. I'll be back on Sunday night. Can't wait to give my X5 diesel a warm O&R bath after the 3,400-mile road trip. Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazy,
Road
Jeff.
trip.
That was a good
Man.
drive.
X5 Diesel is
Yeah.
a good car for that, though.
Ricky Cologne got to do a Wowo's only detail of the Alpha last weekend. Of the products I hadn't yet tried, I have to say I was very unexpectedly and pleasantly surprised with the glass cleaner. I love it.
That's right.
Thanks,
it's
Ricky.
not just some random
Yeah.
product where you're like, oh, you got to have a glass cleaner. No, it's
Yeah.
actually a good one.
Yeah.
Seriously.
We like it.
We got Vigor saying, forget the Grand Baster. I want a Dixon Baster.
Woo, careful how you say that.
Oh, yeah, it works out that way.
I just say go straight in, Dane.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
Riley S. says, Jeff, the Twin Cities are a warm 1 degree today. Excellent.
oh my.
Is it really?
Yeah.
What do you
That's
do? What do you do?
rough.
Cold.
Like, what do you do in
cold.
that?
K&M
Stay
says
inside.
he's reported
Stay
to the Better
indoors.
Business Bureau. I don't know what that means.
Yep. Ricky says, by the way, kudos to the shipping department team. Placed my BOGO order Tuesday in less than 48 hours, door to door. Boise to San Juan.
yeah.
Love the lightning fast. That is
crazy.
fast.
So
Yeah.
those of you in Puerto Rico, you can get it in almost 2 days.
You're getting it
Wow.
on an
That's
island.
rad.
Yeah.
Wesley Oak says something inappropriate. Delphine says, hi there. How perfectly clean and prepped have my plastic grills have to be before applying solution finish? Seems like an impossible job. I don't want to use anything that will ruin my wax around.
Delphine, you just got to use some alcohol.
Yeah, and if you're talking like a honeycomb grill, like a grill, I use like alcohol, use like Q-tips. It's kind of a tedious thing, but you're only doing
Or
it
a
every once
towel
in
and
a
an
while.
alcohol and just,
Well, it depends on how big the hole is.
Right.
If
Well,
you can't fit your finger in it, you're grabbing a Q-tip.
yeah.
And I
sometimes.
just Q-tip in and out.
Yeah. Just Q-tipping in and out.
All right.
Adam Thurman, Wesley Oaks, I am. Rag Company, Wesley Oaks, thank you for pointing that out. Did that fix it? I have no idea what that means. Wesley Oaks, good afternoon, peeps. All right, Ricky Cologne. Did I mention that I started a new Grand Ambassador giveaway with quite a few goodies? Go check it out. It's
saw
one
it.
mess
I
at a
saw the
time. In
Go
IG.
check it.
Yeah,
That's
guys, go
pretty dope, dude.
check it out because he does some pretty good giveaways. The last one was great, so here's another one coming. We got car detailing by
Pat. Inc.
Pat Inc. Oh yeah. This
Yeah.
is the car detailing by Pat. Okay, so Pat Welsh, just a long name, says hi everyone from Chile, Parma, Ohio. You guys.
Oh, you got
rock
a
it.
Parma too. That's fun.
Yeah.
have a
We have a
Parma,
Parma.
Idaho.
Parma,
Idaho's
Idaho over here.
Not great.
Not
No.
great.
Not great.
And Dan Pfeiffer, without missing a beat, does say word up from Frozen, Minneapolis. High of -1. Amen for heated garages and O&R.
The
Yeah.
truth.
Huzzah.
Yes.
Toby, hey gang, hope you're all well. Toby from New Look
Thank
over
you.
there, Coventry.
G. Davis says, yes, Tim, it
G.
worked.
Davis.
And Dan
Excellent.
Pfeiffer
Must
says,
have been an
hey,
audio
at
thing.
Jeff C. Audio is now fixed, says Adam.
Excellent.
And Jerry
Nice.
Joffa says, what tool set would you guys recommend for junkyard runs?
Oh, great question.
That's a good question. So, Morgan, your tool set
Yes.
was pretty well stocked with a
Was
lot of
it?
great stuff. What was that? That's the Crescent.
So it's a crescent. I don't know how many pieces. I think it's like 150 piece. It was on sale before Christmas time, so it was like
Okay.
a
Did
Christmas
you get it at Lowe's?
holiday
Where
deal.
from?
Amazon.
Amazon.
And it
Okay.
was Prime, so you don't have to pay for shipping,
Nice.
which typically for something
But
like that.
it had.
But you do have to
torque-
pay
it
the
had Torque's,
$150 a year to be a
bits
Prime
in it.
member.
That's
Yeah.
true, but that's all right. It
Yeah.
didn't. It had some small Torque bits.
Yeah.
in it.
Okay,
It
but
didn't
no
have
large
larger
ones.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But it's a very comprehensive kit.
Yes.
Had some screwdrivers, had some wrenches, had some ratchets, had some sockets.
Yep.
All that good stuff. So really great little setup. Mine is kind of a hodgepodge of all my tools in a bag.
It's just a doctor's bag full of.
Yep, basically.
he just shows up.
I have
plops it on the
I have a
table.
mobile unit. So I bought those Husky that big kit, and I still had my old Craftsman little whatever it was 100-piece kit, and I was gonna just sell it, but I'm like, you know what? It's worth more than $30 to me just to have a
Backup.
mobile unit.
I used to have a full set in every vehicle that I owned
yeah.
of like screwdrivers, full socket set with a ratchet, just
Yeah.
or a wrench or a ratchet, just to have
Yeah.
a set in
Yeah.
case you ever needed something to pull off
Which
a
is-
battery
yeah,
or you know.
I think
know,
one
something.
thing that doesn't get mentioned a lot, but somebody who spends a decent amount of time in a junkyard would say is have like a nice extendable breaker bar or something.
Yeah, I brought a
'cause
breaker
that
bar.
will come in handy.
I did bring a breaker bar in my kit and a battery-powered impact driver.
Dane, can you do us all a favor here
Yes.
and remove your jacket so we can see the glory of this shirt?
You know, I
Oh.
did this just for G. Davis
Very
because I felt I
nice.
Like-
hadn't worn it on the live in a while. So
It is
It's not really-
such a treat.
Let me get
Arbor Day 2019. So we'll have to get Dane a 2020
Yeah,
Arbor Day
great
shirt.
we'll have
Love
to work on
shirt.
that. It's definitely not something I'd wear out in public very
Yes, it
often
is,
because
Dane.
it's
Yes,
a
it is.
little
It's your
bit
face.
narcissistic
Nope,
to have
it's
your
perfect.
face.
Looks
I
great.
think
on
it's
a
totally
t-shirt.
fine.
Of course
Bob
you'd say
West.
that.
Bob West 251, best wheel coating that a weekend warrior could apply to brand new wheels. Any wheel coating would work just fine. Inspiration is very easy to apply on wheels. Actually, most coatings that maybe are difficult to install are actually just fine on wheels. They're easy to do, easy to apply. And if you're not wanting to do a coating, an actual, just do a sealant. Crystal sealant is very easy to apply and very strong, and has lots of great recommendations and reviews from its time in the UK as a dedicated
Wheel protection.
wheel sealant. Yeah. So
Tug Bankert says, Levi, have you heard anything on the graphene coating that is supposed to hit the market soon?
So I know a little bit about graphene as much as these three also know, but we haven't learned as to what the graphene coating is or
It's on the
how
market
many-
as far as I
what it's
understand
gonna
it,
do.
though.
So-
There is
Um,
graphene coatings already
yeah.
on the market. It's not like it's something. I would say it's more of a wave of,
it's
of
a
marketing
buzz
and
name
media.
that's coming out. Then you got to remember.
I would still
pencil
say it's tied
lead
into
has
the
a graphene
relation
coating.
to the coating market. It's not
So
an entirely new thing from as far as I've understood it to be. Yes, it's exciting, but it's another thing where it's an evolution of an existing property.
yep.
Yeah. Here we go. So we have Chris. So New
So,
Look Detailing
Toby.
says, who's coming to Waxstock this year?
Well, right now we know it's the three of us: me, Dane, and Anthony.
Oh, I am?
We will
I
find
didn't
out.
know that.
If Anthony's not going, then we'll have to
Oh.
bring somebody else.
Yeah.
What?
Morgan
Anthony
is,
sounds like he doesn't want to go.
Morgan
What?
has always wanted to go to the UK.
Yeah, I don't have my passport, Anthony, so I think you're just gonna have to fill in.
Mine expired.
No, you're still.
Chris Marcial says, I want to incorporate the PNS peroxide finisher. I wanted to know what it does. Also, do you spray it on and agitate it into the fabric and leave it alone, or am I supposed to extract it out? That's actually a great question.
So it's a finisher, meaning it's the last step.
Yeah.
So when you're done cleaning, shampooing, all that, so you would use Terminator, you would then shampoo it and or use Carpet Bomber to scrub and clean and all that. Then vacuum it all up, and then you're going to spray mist finisher on the carpet at the very end. Finisher is going to help dissolve whatever has lifted from underneath. It's going to help push it back down and leave the surface clean and nice. It's also going to remove any odors that maybe got stirred up or left over that maybe you didn't get at the cleaning time. So that's kind of what that's what that product does.
Yeah.
Luke Berge, ain't gonna lie, when it comes to soft, sensitive paints, McGuire's 210 is blowing me away more and more every time. Excellent, Luke. Didrik, all the way from sunny, shiny Norway. Hey guys, Anthony, are you sitting closer to the cam, or has Levi, Dane, and Morgan become hobbits?
No, I've gotten progressively bigger.
You have,
I've
Here, let me see if I can sit closer to the cam and get bigger.
See, it's the wonders of a wide-angle camera. When you're using a GoPro
Look
as
how
your stationary
small
camera,
I look.
yeah, we both seem tiny by comparison.
So now
to these guys,
I am almost as large as Anthony and as powerful. I just got to scoot up more.
Yeah, I could do with shrinking a little bit, honestly.
yeah.
Too
Chill,
large
chill,
here.
chill.
All right,
There.
so
Look how much bigger I am now than everybody,
wow, okay.
just by raising my seat.
Wow.
We got Vincent Lang says, "Hey everyone, great job on the content Q&As. My question is, as a detailer, how would you guys protect yourself on potential scammers or people who just want to screw you over?" Ooh, Levi's got some experience with this.
Oh, yeah.
So, one is you've got to be able to keep your eye out for customers that maybe are shady. So, I used to have accounts with companies that were very sneaky, that you just knew they weren't ever going to pay, and so I'd just make them pay cash up front and make sure I had cash in hand. Now, you are going to have to expect to give away some stuff just to make customers happy, and it's very difficult and it's very frustrating when that happens. But honestly, in the long run, if you're willing to 100% give them a refund, no questions asked, what I usually would recommend is if let's say a customer showed up, they had a problem with something, you'd recommend to fix it for them, no charge. Or maybe you step up and you're like, go, you know what? Maybe we did a wax on your car. Let's do a paint sealant, and I'll just take care of it. And we'll cover it. You give them a bump, and that usually 99% of the time will satisfy that customer who's upset.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can start talking to a customer and you can understand that maybe they just aren't going to be satisfied. And in those cases, it was easier for me to just wash my hands of it and say, done, not a problem. Here's your money back. I'm sorry that, whatever. And when you go right into that, most of the time I never had a problem. I had maybe one person who said, thanks, appreciate it, and then never called me back. 9 times out of 10, they would go, oh, you don't have to give me all my money back. Like, I don't need all of it. And then I go, all right, well, how's like $20 off or 20% or 25% off? 90% of the time they took that. So you always got to be ready to call their bluff, because there are people who aren't going to, they're going to be sneaky. I had one lady write me a check and then cancel the check like 2 weeks later.
Or use a card and then it's pending and then cancel it before.
No, I always had it cleared.
Okay,
and my bank was always very good about that. That's another thing is sit down with your bank and talk to them about what, when you're getting payments and stuff, so that you can make sure that they can't pull stuff like that, or that, you just want to cover your own butt. But the biggest thing is just knowing the customer. If a customer, like we joked about, is I had a lady pull up, ask me just while I was wiping a car down how much a detail was. When I told her the price for just an interior detail, she said, that's way too much. The people down the street at the car wash will do it for half that.
Great. Use them.
And that's the answer. Don't ever try to compete or fight for work, because you'll all be miserable. You don't want that customer, because that lady is going to go, if you go, well, I'll do it for $75, you're going to bust your butt for $75, and 90% of the time she may not be happy with it.
I was
going to
say she's probably going to
it.
complain anyway. This hypothetical
she
person
will pick that car apart because she spent $75. And that's an old car wash game where I learned from just working in car washes. Was I had folks who would pay. They would come in and they would get the interior super clean. They would get the carpet and upholstery shampoo, and they would get the hand wax. Literally just putting wax on a car that made it through the car wash. That's all we were doing. We would shampoo the carpets and upholstery, and then we wouldn't clean anything. We just put dressing on the door panels, dash, and center console. So the cup holders, if there was a junk in there and it didn't come out with wiping it with the dressing, I'm sorry, it's not coming out.
Yeah.
And you'd have people pick apart the car, because they're like, I paid, at the time when I started, it was $80 for all 4.
A whole $80.
That's what they'd say. They'd be like, I paid almost $100 for this. And it was like, oh, okay. But I learned very fast that we had to lay out our services when we were selling it. And if you're honest with your customers and they know exactly what they're expecting and what you're expecting to do, you shouldn't have those issues.
Yeah.
But again, it's learning your customers. It's making sure that they're not going to screw you over, and being able to, if maybe you are in the wrong, tell them you're sorry, fix it for them.
You educate them on what services you're offering. So when you say it costs this much, maybe give them like a high-level explanation of what that includes, and then say, okay, most car washes would do maybe 2 or 3 of these,
Right.
but not the whole list.
Right.
And that's why the price difference.
Now, and I always got made fun of because I was always on the phone by my own team.
Yeah.
But what I was doing was I was taking the time to talk to the customer, to get to know them, find out what they wanted, find out what they needed. And if a customer had a problem, I wanted to take care of it. Too many times I've seen posts on Facebook, I've seen posts on things where there are great answers to requests about these things, like, hey, I had a customer that did this and all these things. And sometimes, honestly, it's worth your time to just give them their money back.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying give them their money back on coatings and things like that. Anything higher than maybe $150 or $200, you need to hold your own and try and hold your integrity.
You've invested.
But if
some.
you're doing like a wash or interior detail and they're not happy, man, you got to think of the number of hours you're going to waste chasing them and trying to argue with them and the stress and all that stuff.
that's time you could be working.
If
on
that's
someone
3
else's
hours
car.
to you at $50 an hour, man, you're gonna spend 10 hours trying to handle them.
Yeah.
And you're going to lose more money. So just give them their money back and don't worry about it, and then work on the next customer.
Yes,
and
it
if you're
sucks.
willing to give a discount to a customer and they're happy with that, they will come back to you because it shows that you're trustworthy and that you're willing to work a deal with them.
Yeah.
And you're willing to work with them and say, like, look, I'm sorry. Next time, here's what we'll do, and we'll make sure we get that for you. So, all right.
Yep, totally fair.
Luke Berge said something bad. Bob West 251, does BOGO apply physically in store as well?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
to the items that we do have.
Jerry Joseph says, Morgan, how smooth does your Beamer ride over bumpy city roads with your air suspension setup? Also, and how much did you spend on it? Well, she may not want to be talking about numbers here, but I mean,
But
Well-
number one, I will tell you, Idaho has the best roads in the country.
Yeah.
They're not.
So they're
bad.
not that
they're
bumpy.
not that. Yeah, they're really not that bad
We've been to
compared to
some
other
horrible,
places.
You
horrible
never.
road places.
I complain about them, but then I go to other places and I'm like, oh,
Yeah, but keep in mind, like, it's just horrible here, so don't come here.
yeah. It actually, yeah, it's pretty horrible here.
You definitely wouldn't like living here.
It
Nope.
does. You can tell that it's different. You can tell. I don't really know how to explain it because
You're
here's the
riding
thing.
on air.
I've never owned a car that was on like coilovers or springs or anything. Like I've only ever had stock suspension.
Your current car.
Huh?
Your current car has stock
Your
suspension.
your DD has stock
Oh,
Yeah.
suspension.
yeah, but like that doesn't count because that's just blown out.
oh,
Oh.
okay.
But it's a soft ride. You can.
It is. When we did the Wash Wednesday and we were driving on it, I noticed that it is softer in the corners,
Yeah,
meaning it
you do lose a lot of handling. A lot of
has a lot more roll to it.
Yes.
Now, can you
Definitely.
confirm that up though on the fly, right?
You don't firm it. You just let the air out.
Yeah. So if you ride higher up, you got to think about there's more air in there. So that's what you're going off of. So if there's
See,
less
I thought
air
you could adjust
for
the
it to,
hardness.
you
No.
can, but
No.
you just have to change the dampening on the. But
Right.
that's different. But you can adjust it. I can turn it right now though. It's the stiffest that it can be,
Right.
and it's still pretty soft. It's more soft than I would prefer. So there's that. But if you're literally just doing it for a look standpoint, then I absolutely recommend it. But if you're driving a car and it's a car that you want to be driving, and when you get on the freeway, like you want to be able to send it, then I don't know. It's different.
So it's comfy though for a DD if you
Yeah,
want it to be.
it's-
Yeah.
It's nice for a DD.
Yeah.
And then as far as how much it cost, I just tell people because it is expensive if you're buying a brand new kit. I bought the Airlift 3P kit when it first came out, when they just released it. So I think shipped for parts it was $3,500.
Okay.
That's a good amount of money.
Yeah.
That's like 3 Honda Civics.
Now,
Yep.
how long did installation and stuff take
And then,
on it?
well, so here's the thing. So this is when I was 19 and I didn't really know what I was doing. So I just took it to a shop and it was $2,600 to install.
Right. So
and it was a $100 an hour shop rate. So you can kind of figure that's
About 20 hours.
That's about how long it
5 Honda
took.
Civics.
So if you know
yeah.
your way around your car, it won't take that long. It was supposed to only be $1,200. We'll just say that. But apparently the location of my fuel tank was confusing, so the wiring had to be thought through a little more, which
Rerouted.
yeah. So anyways, it ended up costing about $6,000, all said and done. But it's been nice for a stance car to have air. I don't regret that. But
So you could probably save a few bucks if you find a shop that's already done one or a few of your car before,
yes,
where they kind of know their way around.
or if
speed
you
up the
if you know your way around your car at all, then you can do it yourself. It's not. I think when I first got it, I thought that it was a lot more complicated than it actually was, and it's not. It's not that complicated.
Okay.
So that's what I have to say.
I think the rest of us ride on coils. So yeah, she's the lone airbagged one here.
All right, so we got Riley S. says, well, Bearded Hunter says, hey, everybody. We got Riley
up,
S.
dude?
says, you guys have mentioned that foaming fallout remover before. In an IK, is the standard 5-to-1, and is that still effective? So, yeah, you could foam it 5-to-1. It actually might be a little bit too thick if you're talking about Woa's fallout remover.
10 to
You
1.
might want to go 10-to-1. From my experience in the IK Pro 2, 10-to-1 seemed the best, and it is still very effective, yes. And I in terms of, like, the best coverage, you're going to get the best coverage and the longest dwell time from foam or from mixing it in a multi-sprayer. And the reason why I say that is because of the consistency of the spray pattern. Is that, you know, if you're spraying it straight out of the spray bottle with the sprayer, it'll work. It's just you're going to have inconsistency through the sprays, but you're going to have a more concentrated form. Whereas I think that in the IK multi-sprayer, you could dilute it 1-to-1, or you can use it straight and spray it with a more even fan or a more even, like, circular spray. But if you want to dilute it in the foamer to have it have much longer dwell time, then you can throw it in a foamer at 10-to-1, and it'll still do a good job at breaking down those iron deposits. So Casey Young says, hi from Texas. Just wanted to tell you guys. What'd you say?
Howdy.
Oh, howdy, yeah. Says, hey, guys, I'm loving the Dry Me River towels. And regarding the glass coatings, I have Chemical Guys Hydro Slick Ceramic Gel. Would that be safe for the windshield? Yeah, it would.
Yeah, we don't know the longevity.
I don't know what the
or
longevity is.
how-
I'm just saying it's not going to hurt anything, though.
It's mostly the windshield wiper action, if
It's just
anything,
the
is going to
friction.
beat it
Dave
up.
Watson of Clean
What's
and
up,
Shiny.
Dave?
Right?
Hey.
With possibly one of the cleanest Honda S2000s
Oh, that's a good look.
that I've ever
Oh,
seen.
Yeah.
It's the Black Mamba.
It is, man. It thing is dirty. He posted a picture of it the other day
I know, I saw
on
it.
these wheels that I was like, dude, those were nice.
I think you secretly have a crush on Dave's S2000.
I
That's
would
fair.
love to have his S2000.
I
It's
think
a
he'd
sick
love
car.
to have your Civic. So perhaps
No,
we could do
I
a
don't think
straight
he-
across.
Dude,
See, the
I would
thing
take
is-
that trade
I've
any
seen
day.
his. I've seen his
Dave's
S2000
like, I don't know
in
how
person.
I want-
I'll do it for you.
So like I know how nice his
I think
S2000
Dave would
is,
be
but
okay if
he
you
hasn't-
gave him your Civic.
He
I
hasn't
think he'd be
seen
all
my
right.
Civic in person. I think John has. So John's probably like, Dave, that thing's a piece of crap, man. That thing's falling apart. You don't want that. Hans
I
Closen
don't
says,
think I don't think Dave would have a problem if you covered the cost of shipping and just shipped it to him.
yeah, I'm sure.
I think he'd be fine. He'd take it.
I
He'd be
think
like,
he even said
I
that
think-
that coupes are more rare over there. There's not a lot of coupes.
and it's left-hand drive. So
Oh, yeah, it would be.
Ooh.
Exotic.
Special.
yeah,
It's a weirdly
it's
odd.
what's that
combination.
word? American domestic market. It's ADM.
Ooh.
Nope, it's
USDM.
USDM.
Oh,
That has a
USDM.
very,
ADM.
it's a very specific thing.
It's a AADM.
Australian domestic market.
Yeah.
Oh, we got Hans Closen says, I'm behind the
ADA,
TRC
yeah,
vids.
yes.
We'll be catching up real
Americans with
soon.
Disabilities Act.
Okay, guys, you
Okay,
need to stop now.
soft.
This
Catch-
is the serious half Dane.
Right, sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Dane.
Yeah, it's your
one.
rule, Dane.
Yes.
All right.
He's been busy getting business license, insured, and all that with becoming a big man for real. So
Congrats,
Hans has been
Hans.
busy.
Proud of you.
Nice.
Luke says, last time I polished this car, I literally spent 3.5 hours with the 205.
Ooh.
Perfect finish and hyper polish, trying to find a combo that came out the way I wanted on the super soft paint. I grabbed 210 today, primed a Rupes pad with the yellow foam pad, blew it out, 3 small speed size drop, speed of 3.5 on a Rupes Mark II with a 5-inch backing plate, 3 medium speed passes, bam, finish better than ever.
Nice. Good work, Luke.
Fantastic. Luke,
There's
it's all
nothing more
about
satisfying about than finding a combo that works.
it's all about finding what works for you, or
That's
you
right.
just, yep. Randy Glizzy says, I blew up the engine on my car. Simply spray some F11 on it, and it's purring like new again.
Oh,
So you'd be
congrats.
surprised what F11 can do.
That is awesome.
Jerry Joseph says, Morgan, what are you drinking?
Oh,
Oh.
hey, thanks for asking. I'm having a venti iced caramel latte with almond milk and light ice.
So Morgan loves Starbucks.
delicious.
So if you'd like to
Light
send
ice.
her Starbucks to the rag company, feel free to DoorDash it or whatever you can to get
or
it to.
Starbucks gift cards by way of Morgan McMurry.
Yeah. Now, if we
Are we
do,
allowed to?
now we do scan, we do pre-scan all of the drinks that come into the building. So if we see any type of
Don't send drinks, just send her gift cards.
correct,
Yeah,
yeah. So we
that's a
we don't
little-
want anything that's not coffee. So
Nothing
saying.
shady.
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
alcohol.
Oh dear.
Well,
Unless you're sending it to Dane and Anthony, and then they will gladly take it.
After
Dane-
hours.
Dane does like to drink beers sometimes.
After hours.
David
Wow.
Timothy Duval. Hey guys, as a general rule, how many pads each of a specific color should I have on hand for a light correction? Well, David, that depends on the machine you're using. Depends on maybe what cars you're working on. If you're just at home, really an orange foam pad will work great. Having a couple of those because I doubt you're going to be polishing a lot of your own vehicles. But if you're like me and you're working on, doing a couple cars for folks here and there, or like Anthony or Morgan,
Yeah.
where we're kind of cleaning people's cars, it's good to have a couple of every type. I usually, when I'm working on a car, I usually use 2 to 4 pads, depending on what I'm working on.
Yeah.
And I use a lot of orange, and I use a lot of either wool or microfiber. I try to stick with only that setup because that'll do the majority of what I need it to do. Wool for soft paint, microfiber for hard paint, and then I'll use orange as my second step if I need to have that. I also like using the red Euro foam. The maroon Euro foam is
Nice.
my other pad that I
There
like
you go.
throwing in there. Now, you can
Switch things
substitute
up.
that and use, instead of orange, like an orange HDO or orange flat foam, you can use the yellow Rupes. That is a great pad as well, and would do most of what you need if you're using the last cut. So realistically, 2 to 4 for each car, usually 2 of each color, basically, of whatever you're going to use, or maybe your combo. Some
Yeah.
people like green foam, some people like the orange foams, some people like, one of the great things we do carry now is the Reflection Artist Kit. You can buy 5 pads. And then you can try and make sure and see which ones you like the best.
It's like a sampler case.
It is really nice.
It is.
Yeah.
And it comes in 5 and 6.
It's like a shrimp scampi.
shrimp scampi. Delicious.
That's not really the same thing.
Don't eat it.
Adam Thurman says 2-part message here. All right, peeps, I've got a question, probably more for you, Anthony, me.
Oh.
I've let an applicator used for CSL sit out to see how hard it gets.
Okay.
Surprisingly, it doesn't harden like other coatings. Help me understand that. EXO seems to harden on the applicator, but has been curious, why not CSL?
Well, that's one reason why people top EXO on top of CSL.
Correct.
To
So,
provide that hardest. Think of it kind of like in the same sense that it is humidity cured
yeah.
in that sense. So it does tend to harden. It takes a lot longer.
Yeah, I think you are correct on that too. I think CSL is a very universally applied coating that can be pretty much used on anything and everything. So maybe even after full hardness or fuel curing time, maybe it has more flexibility, right? Because for example, Halo is a flexible coating meant for wrap and meant for PPF and all of that. So I'm assuming, and I'm just assuming that it probably has some characteristics that are the same as Halo in terms of being able to be flexible. But I'll tell you right now that C5 gets hard as a rock. That is just literally you
Well, and
can't
that's
break
for
through
metal.
that. And that is for metal, but it is rock hard. So Luke Berge says, where are the short-handled wheel and body brushes coming back in stock? I managed to lose mine somehow, and I think it was wearing out or kind of defective. I had like 7 little sets of bristles. What?
Fallout in the first
Oh,
use.
fallout in the first use.
Ah.
That's strange. Like, what were you using it to trim? Were you using a hedge trimmer on that, or
What?
I've never seen that
product
happen
would
before?
do
But
that?
we are hoping to have more in stock soon. Riley S says, how much does an automated touchless car wash degrade each level of protection, wax, sealant, coating? Levi,
Depends
you
on
are
how
in
often you go through
you are
it.
an enthusiast of car
I am a
washes.
car wash enthusiast.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that depends on how often you go through it. It depends on the type of car wash you're going to. Rule of thumb, it's 50%. If you're going to be taking your car through the car wash once a week, plan on shortening whatever protection you put on by 50%. Now, if you're going through brushes every week, you are going to get scratches in the surface. You will get fine scratches. And that is very hard to say when, depending on what you've got on there that you've put on. So if you've got something that provides a lot of scratch resistance, it may do very well for the first few months, but then it may start to soften and make it, you've probably worn it off. I've had customers that would use a car as a test subject.
Yeah.
And it would be to test the car wash, like sensors and monitors and all that stuff, just to make sure it doesn't hurt or damage, like in the sense of break windshields, dent cars, do the things that car washes, they're mechanical arms that are moving back and forth. They're going to, that happens.
Yeah.
So I had a friend who owned a car wash, and he had a maroon Honda Civic, and he ran that, or Honda Accord, and he ran that through, and he goes, dude, I kid you not, that car has been through the car wash probably 2,000 times this year.
Oh my.
2,000?
And I said,
that would equate to 3 times a day.
just about.
I
So
think more.
he said there are times when he's reset sensors, he's running through 12 times, 20 times in a row to make sure that everything, all the chemicals spraying properly on it, that all the jets are working, make sure that the timing is going through to make sure each stage is getting hit properly as it's on a conveyor. And he would bring it into me every year to polish it all out, to get it back to where it was shiny again, so he could make sure that it was, like, in case it was scratched, because his car looked like, by the time it made it through, after all his washes at the end of the year, he'd bring it to us, it looked like a Brillo pad had been washed, had washed it, or that he'd used 3,000 grit sandpaper on the whole car, because it had been so abraded. So we would polish it, and we would coat it, and he would pay for coating because he needed to test it. He's like, I use this car saves me money, because I'm not breaking other people's cars or damaging them, and I'm making sure that everyone's getting a good wash. And at the end of the year, or the 3 years that he had the car, he turned it back in. He leased it. And before he brought it to us, we detailed it, coated it again so it looked like a nice brand new car. And nobody knew that car had gone through maybe 12,000 car washes.
Wow.
In its lifetime.
It's all about how you protect it in the interim.
Now, the clear coat,
amazing.
I cannot state how thin that was, because we did have to compound it 3 times and coat it 3 times. So I don't know the actual thickness of what was left of that clear, but it'd be interesting to find out. But it is something that they are going to remove coat. They are going to remove your protection. They will shorten it. And they will, if there are brushes, they will scratch. Now, not every system scratches, but you can never plan, because everybody likes to go get their car washed when it's sunny.
Oh, yeah.
You don't know who the car before you was. Think of our minivan at Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
How bad was that outside?
It
Pretty
was
dirty.
Nasty.
We had some muddy roads that we had to hit, some dirt roads that we hit. So there was a lot of mud that was splattered up the sides. And then imagine that's going to go through the car wash, and there's going to be a car right behind it that is maybe perfect shape, but you don't realize that there's a muddy car 2 cars up ahead.
Yeah.
And
Those same
sometimes on those
brushes.
busy days, they're bumper to bumper.
Yeah.
So there's not enough time for those brushes to get rinsed
Work 'em
off,
loose.
proper clean before they hit. So you are going to get damage from dirt and scratches and
Well, and I
rocks.
remember like a local horror story of some lady with a Mercedes that had like a jet from one of the car washes literally removing paint.
Oh, yeah.
And it caused like a whole shutdown, and the whole
I had,
car wash
I've had
had to
arms
reset.
that just didn't move, and they go down and up on the car.
It would just
and
stay
then
fixed.
They go down and they get the front and they come up on the hood and then they stay there.
It's just blast.
And the car just drives into that big metal arm.
I mean,
it
if-
breaks the windshield.
And if you have thin
all that.
paint at the point like that guy, at the end of that car's run,
Yeah.
the next owner doesn't know that.
right, well, and that's
could
just,
be.
but how do you go about that?
Oh,
how do you
yeah.
fix that? So
Yeah. Well, what I'm
Um,
saying is that you have all these obsessed garage people trying to sand away their paint texture.
right.
All they need to do is just run it through 12,000 automated car washes.
Oh.
Oh,
Perfect.
solid.
I mean, it is what it is.
Easy, simple.
Riley S. Okay, so we got G. Davis says, "Wow, bless your heart for wearing the shirt, Dane. It gets me one step closer to having the wife finally approve the Hang Bang prototype T-shirt.
I love that
no.
shirt. That would have been perfect for Valentine's Day.
It really would have been just a
Hang from it, you
like,
can bang from it.
like honestly, just like a swing, just like one swing, a lonely swing,
Yeah.
and then it just says Hang Bang.
Yeah.
Hashtag.
All class, all
Hashtag
the way.
hang day.
Moving along.
Well, okay. Hans Glosen says, wax stock tickets are bought yesterday.
Excellent.
See you there,
Ooh.
Hansi.
We will see you.
Wow. Yeah, maybe.
Rectangle. Sup, guys? Beautiful day here in Huntington Beach.
We'll be there.
Nice.
Rectangle says, don't forget to
Don't let 'em
subscribe to
down.
the Master of Shine YouTube channel. That's right, folks. Get on there today. Hit that subscribe button. Smash that notifications bell so you can see when I post my first video.
Yep.
I
Luke,
linked him earlier.
Luke
Thank you.
Berge says, I found a first for me. I found a product that ammo hydrate doesn't work well on for a drying aid, which I've tried so many products from waxes, sealants, and coatings, and it always worked extremely well on everything. Hydrate didn't work well on crystal sealant. It worked good, but not amazing, like it did with every other product. Well, that might tell you that crystal sealant's something different
Yeah.
than anything you've ever used.
Yep.
Better, greater.
I put crystal
Durable.
sealant. I washed Carly's car the other day,
Yeah.
and I used crystal sealant in the foam cannon.
Did you?
Put a
Okay.
couple ounces in the foam cannon, filled it with
Give
water,
that thing a-
gave it a little spritz. I
Yeah.
made sure not to use too much, just a couple ounces,
Yeah.
and then gave it a nice little bath afterwards of that, just through the foam cannon.
I assume you cleaned out the foam cannon very well
I
afterwards.
did. I had to
Yeah.
do that, and then I rinsed the car off, and then rinsed out the foam cannon, and then ran water through it, and made sure it was nice and clean before I put it away. But then just dried the vehicle using Quick Detailer,
Wow.
and then topped it with Showstopper.
That's a very protected
My red
car.
was glowing.
Oh, I
Let me
bet.
tell you,
It must have been pretty incredible.
it was
yeah.
pretty insane.
I found that crystal sealant it's strong stuff, man.
Yeah.
We're seeing more reviews pop up more and more, especially in the UK, of people talking about because this is technically version 3 is what is
this
out now.
version 3 of
And
Crystal
in
Sealant.
version 3, they're saying is much better than version 2 and obviously 1. But we first tried 2,
Yep.
and we got 2 to where it is for 3 now,
Yeah.
with being more easy to use, spray on, wipe off application.
2 had that strength, but the 3 is what made it easier for someone to
correct.
use. Which
2
was a big, setback for people who wanted to use it but felt like, oh, it's a little tough.
2 was, just as strong as 3
Oh,
is,
very
but just
strong. Yeah. Same strength, but-
harder to apply, whereas 3 has now got
You
it to
didn't
where
have
it's
as
harder to
much.
apply.
You didn't have as much time to apply it. So
No, you had a very
like,
short
you
window.
had a very short window. It was literally a 2 foot by 2 foot section.
Yeah.
Spray it on, wipe it off. Spray it on, wipe it off. Spray it on, wipe it off.
Almost
that
like a
was
coating.
literally.
Yeah.
It was fast.
Yeah.
Where 3 is nice. You can spray a couple panels, make your way across, and get
Yeah.
a little longer.
We got
lifespan.
Hey It's Barry says, what's the best way to cover up a paint chip? Can I apply wax after it's sealed for protection?
Yeah, you can.
Mm-hmm.
So I just touch it up, put either sealant, coating, whatever you want over that touch up, and then put a coat of wax. You're good. So
All right.
G Davis,
Yeah.
we need to scroll down.
He
a
says
little bit.
something.
Scroll
He has
down a
some
little bit here.
mozzarella. Oh, sorry. I have some. I
There we
have some Corolla rubber trim on the door sills that is stained. I've cleaned aggressively, then solution finish with no luck. Is sanding an option? If so, what grit would you use?
I'd have to see a picture, G. So text me what plastic you're talking about. But yeah, technically, I wouldn't use sandpaper. I'd probably use like a Scotch-Brite pad.
Ian Moosegrove says, "Hey guys, do you have gift cards on your website, or will you have them eventually?"
Ian, the gift cards that we do offer are only available in store. So
Right.
you can call us and we can maybe work something out for you. So that's the easiest way. Give us a call and talk to customer service, see if they can figure something. Brian Minichi, will the Red Eagle Edgeless 500 take longer to bleed out than the other colors in the line? Excited to try the gauntlet for drying. No, the red is actually very color fast in the Eagles.
Because we knew going in that a red towel was
they go
going to be
through
a pain. so-
primary. They go through a first wash at the factory, and then they're tumbled in tumblers as well
Twice.
twice
Yeah.
before they with the other Eagles, Red Eagles, and then they are packaged and then sent to us, and then we ask that you wash them a second time.
Yeah.
Just to
to
remove
make
any
sure.
residual
Now-
lint.
And usually we don't have a problem, and the colors that are the older ones are stained very red, very
Yeah,
vibrant.
very red.
Not all towels get washed at the factory. However, in the Eagles case specifically, they are one of those that
It's
do.
one of those. It's
Yeah.
just one of the many processes we use to help control lint.
That's
after the
we
fact.
focus so
It's a
much
very
on quality
plush
control. We'll gladly pay a little extra per unit to make sure it's going to be the best we can possibly offer.
Yep.
Here we go. So Luke Brady says, I ride on leaf springs front and back. Old 350 Life. And we got Functional Doc says, "Hi gang, first live, can you apply bead maker on a coated car after doing IPA wipe down and doing a chemical iron remover only?"
Yes,
Yep, you can.
you can.
Riley S. says, "Levi, you've talked about how much you like the Obert compound and polish. Do you use their pad system too, or use your own?"
Their pad system is great, but I mean, it's Lake Country microfiber and Lake Country wool and Lake Country HDOs and flat foam. So I just use what we have here because it's easy. But yeah, no, I follow the same color kind of scale. They use the red foam, which is one we don't carry.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's not one of my favorite pads, but it's a good pad nonetheless. But I prefer still using my orange HDOs,
Yeah.
orange flat foams, and then microfiber and or low lint wool.
You ever mess around with like the Rupa's yellow with that, or?
I haven't with the Rupes yellow, but I
Oh.
have with the Buff and Shine maroon, and
Good to
it's
know, yeah.
pretty awesome. So,
Dane, you want to jump in for a couple of these?
Yeah, sure. So we're down by Luke there. G. Davis, serious comment. Old microfiber, wipe with lacquer thinner. SF done works every time for me. So he's referring to the trim, I believe, on the Corolla there.
Yep.
So yeah, you could certainly give that a shot. Thanks, Luke, says G. Davis. Luke, if that doesn't work, then hyper polish on a microfiber pad. But I only had to do that once. Lacquer thinner worked amazing every other time. He's learning from Levi. Lacquer thinner is like the secret cheat code on a
is.
lot of different applications for detailing.
there's so many uses. So many uses.
And that's not paint thinner, that's lacquer thinner. There's a difference.
Otherwise known as virgin wash.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what it is. I'm
It
serious.
is.
It's literally
I've seen it called
virgin
that in
wash
store.
solution. And it comes in gallon jugs and 5-gallon jugs.
We got
Wow.
Pagan rituals over
Fletcher
here.
says, "Hey y'all, thanks for having us. What kind of factors diminish the life of waxes, coatings, and sealants the most?"
Well,
Kind of factors.
So you're basically what you're looking
that's-
at. You're looking
yeah.
at environmental factors. You're looking at temperature. You're looking at whether it's high heat or extreme cold. You're looking at obviously weather. So that could be rain. It could be snow. It could be mud. It could be dirt. It could be iron fallout. That can all affect some things.
I mean, you
and
got to
then
think about all the stuff when you park. Like, if you park
tree sap.
under
All
trees,
sorts
those
of stuff.
tree sap does stuff. If
Bird
you're,
droppings.
If you're, bird droppings. If you park, like, I laughed because I parked my car once alongside some power lines at a dealership. I drove over to the dealership, picked up a car from them, left my car there, my sweet Elantra. I left it there at the dealership, parked in the back line.
No.
But where I parked was under these massive, huge power lines.
Yeah.
Like, and not just like a normal power line, like one of the big ones that,
Yep.
that brings power like to the
super
city
heavy duty.
kind
yeah.
of power. Parked under there, and then proceeded to
Birds.
walk to get a car. Left it there all day. Came back with like a couple cars that we ran, and we all hopped in my car to leave. And my front windshield and hood were completely covered in bird droppings,
Yeah.
but not normal bird droppings. These were
Pterodactyl.
kind of they were like the pterodactyl dropping that we
Oh,
showed
no.
you in one of our videos, but it was like the birds ate seeds and fruit and things
Oh,
like
no.
that. So their droppings had like it was very sticky. It was red, and it was all over the car, speckled. And we ran back to the shop, pressure washed it off, and a lot of it was still stuck
Oh.
because it was a hot day.
Oh,
It's like the
no.
unholy
Well, you
marriage of
think of
bird
it- well, it
droppings
was
and
the-
sap.
But it was like it was like tree sap. It was like the berries, the sugar in the berries, and that had been processed through their
So
body.
it's acidic and abrasive.
Yeah, it was. But you got to think. I looked at other people's cars that worked there at that dealership, and they
Yeah.
just had their cars parked there, and they were covered. And they just you see where they hit their windshield wipers in the morning and let that stuff sit. So you think, here's a sugar and bodily fluid on the surface of this paint on a hot parking lot.
Yeah.
And what do these cars face? A railway track.
It's like
so
the
train
perfect
tracks
storm.
driving, going back and forth 2 times a day. So they're getting not only this stuff, but then rail dust landing on the vehicle. and sitting in a hot parking lot. In the summertime, you've got
all
lots of hot
coalescing
and cold
together.
temperatures
Oh.
You know,
and all these factors. And I was like, this is like the worst spot to park in the city.
So if you
Like-
want your disaster detail, you go over there and you just wait.
No, that is a very frightening spot to be in. So,
Noted.
but that's the kind of stuff. Like most people don't think about that where they park. So look at the environment in which you're parking every single day. You know, here at our place, there's no trees. It's open. There's no spot. Now, if you went and parked under one of the trees on the side of the building down there, you'd have a lot of junk on your car all the
Yeah.
time. But because where you park currently, there's nothing. It's just
Right.
a big open parking lot. We get some dust. And that's about
There's
it.
a power line that extends over the way, but you usually don't run into trouble with the birds
Right,
there. For
yeah.
whatever reason, they don't.
Yeah,
do that
exactly.
there.
So a lot of
they
people
die,
just,
Dane.
yeah,
on that power
but,
line.
yeah. But the goal is
Oh.
to try and look for where you store your vehicle. You know, I bought my house, I moved in, I cut down all the trees because I didn't want those trees dropping stuff on my cars.
Yeah.
But my neighbor had a pine tree, and a big heavy sap bleeding pine tree. And I asked him, I go, you ever have any problems with a lot of sap from this tree? And he's like, no. And then I look over and I see like bop, 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 like just dots of big tree sap. So again, it's where you're going to park the car, where you're going to store your vehicle. So if you're garaging it and then you're parking in a parking garage or whatever, you're going to be fine. You don't need to worry. But if you're parking in a very large park, like when you worked at your last job, didn't you guys have a very large parking lot
Yeah.
that you'd get sun and you'd have a lot of UV damage
Yeah.
because you're in a very big black parking lot that has asphalt,
That's wide open.
wide open, no shade, nothing like that. So there's
Yeah.
various spots, and it's just watching how you park your vehicle, where you keep it, where you can store it, where you can take care of it. That'll dictate what kind of
used
protection
to,
you need.
I used to time it, right? So basically, I would get into work, right? I would park not under a tree, but at an area in the parking lot to where I was getting the shade from a tree for
shadow
several
would
hours.
eventually
The shadow of a
carry.
tree
Right.
for several hours, right? I'd go to lunch, and then I would come and park on the other side of that tree area, right? Because then
Smart.
I'd get the sun coming from that the rest of the day from
Yeah.
that shade. So I'd time
So you
it
try
to
and
where-
cut down the amount of UV that was hitting your vehicle
Exposure,
and the
yeah.
exposure of heat.
by
on
just
your car.
moving around, yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Calculating your parking position based
when
on
I-
solar patterns.
No,
Nice.
but I did that when
Am I
I worked
crazy?
at
Yes.
when I worked at Micron. I found that if I got to work at a certain time in the morning, there was a certain series of spaces that were open that was always shaded
Oh yeah.
because the sun and that where I was parked on that building, the sun never hit.
Yeah.
And if you could pull right up to the front of the building, your car would be protected by the shade all day. And so it was
Yeah.
always cool no matter what. But if I was 5 minutes, 7 minutes late, I had to park farther out, which was now I'm in full sun all day long.
Yeah.
So to me, it was like, if I can leave 5 minutes early, I can park right there. Plus, I had a window that I could see my vehicle the whole day.
Yeah.
And I
And
just looked
that's
right
kinda
at it.
nice,
And that was
yeah.
kind of fun too. But
Yep.
a lot of it is figuring out where you're going to park your car. Like, just look at the environment of where your car sits for its life. Not
Yeah.
only where you store it at home, but where it's going to sit during the day unattended.
Yeah.
You know, my wife's drove the Elantra prior to me,
Yeah.
number of years. She parked it at the Barnes & Noble parking lot.
Yeah.
And it's a very tight parking lot,
Yeah.
that one specifically. And that's where the majority of all her door dings came from, was not just because of, like, they parked for employee parking. They had a spot designated,
Right.
but not all the employees parked there.
Yeah.
That's why I
So
always
you'd
try
have
and
customers that would park and they just swing their doors open
Well,
and hit
park
that.
next to a flower bed or something, so at least one
Yeah.
of your sides.
Well,
is
and that was kind
protected.
of like, I'll kind of do my own like investigation stuff, right? So like my Civic, for example, right, has no clear coat failure, right? It's
Mm-hmm. Right.
absolutely most Civics that age now, they're
Right. It's
the
falling.
clear's
The
gone,
Elantra's
right?
got some
Falling
spots that
apart.
are starting to.
However, that thing was covered in more dings than anything else
Right.
I've seen. So what it kind of told me was this car was probably garaged for its life, that the owner had it, but also was a fan of parking garages
Yep.
because of how many dings and how many tight quarter dings it looked like it had. Right? It
Yeah.
wasn't like a bunch of death dings. It was just smaller ripples to where people had rested a door on it. And
Same person
typically-
every day, just about.
and you typically don't get those kind of door rest marks unless you're in a tight quartered parking garage or
Yep.
somewhere like that. But then also the combination of also still having all the paint and the clear coat
Yeah,
and still
that was
good
probably
shape.
underground for a good portion of
Yeah.
its life.
So
Like, but that's the things you got to think about and look at. And like I said, mine is starting to fail, even though my car has had every single protection product on itself.
Literally everything, yeah.
For its entire life. I bought that car brand new, and I am now in the 13th year. Well, now this will be the 14th in May, 14th year of ownership. That car is finally starting to have areas where the clear coat is starting to fail.
Starting to go through a little
and
bit.
that's no fault of, it's just that's, but
It's
it's lived,
just
it's
that
a
time.
patina, but it's lived its life. It's
Yeah.
lived its life
It's a classic patina.
Yeah, it's
Like
lived
my
its
Montero
life though.
skipped patina.
Well, it lived its life in parking lots.
Yeah.
Because for the first 8 years of its life, my wife drove it. That was her daily driver every day.
Yeah.
Well, first 6 years, really. I've had it the last 6. So,
I was going to say 6 years is about the average time a person owns any one car. Typically, that's
I'm going on
statistically
14 with
where
this
they
car.
fall in it. So,
and
congratulations.
Fun fact, my dad was very upset at me for buying this car and buying a brand new car
Oh,
right off the lot.
the
He was
irresponsibility.
furious with me, and I was a 26-year-old male, was married, and I said, but I wanted to buy a new car. We're going to drive it, and we're going to have this for a very long time, and then we'll sell it just like you did when you bought your brand new Datsun in 1980.
Boom.
You sold it when I was 14 years old. You had it for 14 years.
Technically, you've had your Elantra almost as long as your dad had you.
Technically, yes.
He's had it even longer than his dad
before
had.
he parted ways with you and said, "Hey, you have to get your own place now."
Right, yeah.
So you've had it for 14 years, another 4 years, and
Well, hey,
I
I
get that
mean-
car for 18 years. I could be like, this was this car. I've owned this car longer than I lived in your house.
that'll
Boom.
be a good one.
But that's the
Yeah.
point. Is like I like keeping that car because it's
Yeah.
been such a good car.
Oh,
It
yeah.
hasn't had any problems. But at the same time, I've owned it its whole life.
Yeah.
And I've gotten my money out of it.
Yeah.
So
We got a lot
All
of
right.
comments now.
G. Davis says, please direct all future hardness inquiries to Anthony@hardness.com. So,
.org.
.org.
You've got a
because
nonprofit,
the,
that's
the,
why.
the .org is a real web address.
The
so I'd like
arbiter
to
of
shift them
hardness.
to the
Yeah.
.com. Kickoff says, hi everyone. Will you guys do a series on Woes products when you store a used car?
Yeah,
Yes,
I'd
we
say a
just need to
season.
find a used car that's in good condition.
Not-
that isn't
Oh,
falling-
well, see, that just throws
Not
a wrench
falling
in the
apart.
whole
Not
thing.
falling
You know,
I
the
have the
Elantra
perfect
is
vehicle to
14
do a
years old.
disaster detail on.
14 years
Everybody
old,
wants
it'd
to
be
see it.
perfect,
We're
it's
going to
clean,
work on the Montero, whether
shiny,
you
it's
like it or
nice.
not.
I'm going to need spray paint to fix that car. Carlos Rivera says, could
I bought it so we could do videos with it.
could be possibly
We
to
told
buy
you not to
microfiber
buy it.
towels in bundle or package as one item on Amazon. So could be possible to buy microfiber towels in a bundle or packages. No, unfortunately. So you can buy them in a bundle on Amazon if that's what you're referring to on the Rag Company on Amazon, but you can't just add one single towel. I guess I'm misunderstanding your question. Luke Berge
Yeah.
says, G. Davis, that's a completely different side gig. Don't email that email. Would be a completely different, yeah, it would. G. Davis says,
Over
Luke
there, they call
Berge.
him Mo.
Smiles.
And CC Detailing says, finally made it. LMFAO Luke and G. I love your comments. We live for those
We live
comments.
for 'em,
Oh,
too.
yes.
HM Auto Detailing, hello TRC fam. John
Hello.
Hill just got a notification my order shipped. Great BOGO sale and can't wait to see my picture request.
Oh, boy.
John, I'm sorry I had to have that sit on my desk for a little longer than expected.
We had to come
while
up
we
with a
worked on it.
solution to fulfill your request.
So it is on its way.
We found one, though.
Yeah, we got it done right before we went live. So G. Davis says, I walked around meeting and greeting at MT Orlando. I was surprised at the one question I got repeatedly. What is Hans Closen really like? It was true. That was probably one of the best great times we had at MTE was having the great G. Davis in the booth.
Yep.
And Kirby Thompson and his lovely wife also in attendance. I had both of them in the booth at the same time. It was
Nice.
insane. Truly an insane moment for all of us.
Yeah.
G.
So-
Davis says, thank you,
yep.
CC Detailing. That's what we do here. George Zapata, hello from San Clemente, California.
Hello,
Very
George.
nice. D in Detailing. Any chance we can get empty Wowo 16-ounce bottles and sprayers? Blank labels would be great. Oh, D. You got to use the product, and then it gets an empty bottle. And then you
Hey.
just peel the label off.
Yeah, I guess that would make sense. But
Yeah, it's a great idea.
we will see.
You never know.
We'll put in the request into Scotland. We'll see what happens. We just know that those bottles are from Italy. So we'll
They're
have
very
to-
nice. They're a
have to
little
travel
pricey
for 'em.
and very high quality.
Hans Closen says, G. Davis, and your answer was LOL. Jerry Joseph says, hey, gang, what's your favorite use for the Creature Edgeless towels? Ooh, man. So I'm going to jump in on this. I'm going to say
Do.
that I love the Creature for compound and polish removal. I love the Creature for quick detailing, waterless wash. Interior stuff, it's probably one of my favorite all-around interior towels next to the 365. So I love both those towels. But the Creature can do it all. 70-30 blend, 420 GSM, edgeless, and it's another workhorse towel. It's a great towel.
MMA card guy, I'm looking to do a one-step on my black GMC Denali. Would the last cut be a good product for this? Also, which foam pad would you recommend? If it matters, I'm using a 5-inch backing plate. Just depends on the machine you're using, but realistically, either the orange flat foam or orange HDO, or you could use the yellow Rupes pad.
Yellow Rupes with last cut.
Or
awesome.
The red Buff and Shine
maroon pad.
Maroon pad, just fine. Either one of those, any of those 4 pads would be perfect for one step. Luke, if I do touchless car washes all the time, if I have any of these, Hyperseal, Gloss Coat, Inspiration Nano Coating, Ceramic Pro IGL, I don't know what that. I do touchless car all the time. If I have, if you put
he's saying
Hyperseal,
he's confident he can go
Gloss
through one
Coat,
as long as
Inspiration, Nano One Coating, Ceramic Pro IGL. That's pretty much everybody.
Yeah.
But he hasn't gotten to try G-Technic yet. Thanks, Luke. All right, here we go. Getting into the 5-minute warning for the fun portion. Getting ready to get started. Hey, it's Barry. Appreciate your guys' help. I bought a lot of products from you guys, and I love the Korean wash mitts. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Nate, would you recommend using a pad washer to wash pads? Yes. It saves you a ton of time. It's amazing. Once you have one, you'll never know why you had.
It's a lot cheaper than hiring me to do it for you.
You don't got to tell me twice, sister.
Hey, Barry says they are by far the best mitts for washing my car, and the blue and white design really is a nice design. Would you recommend any products for detailing that I should take a look at? Hey, it's Barry. Check out the rest of the line at theragcompany.com. Everything we sell, Anthony and I use and swear by. So, Rectangle. Hey, Levi, I don't remember exactly what, but did you say that you had great results with Rupes Uno and a Eurofiber pad? No, I really like the Rupes pads. They're kind of more spec'd. They're more spec'd for that product. So,
Correct,
I would stick with the 3 Rupes pads we carry are perfect for Uno.
Yeah, but Uno's great.
But
Kishore Murali says, shout out to Rebecca from TRC. Really helpful and answered most of my questions all the way from Trinidad. Custom detailers.
Nice.
Rebecca's awesome. She
Good work.
deserves a shout.
Yeah, that's awesome. We will let her know.
Yes.
Thank you for letting us know. Tom Kirby says, nice discussion on the use of car wash service. Proof of brushes over time is look at those rental car paints.
Exactly. Yeah. No, and Kirby, that's one of the biggest things when I would do details for Enterprise. And I worked with a dealership who would buy cars from Enterprise. And the Enterprise cars were very difficult because of the horrific car wash scratches that their washes put into it. And even though the car was clean, it came in clean, it needed an actual correction. And so on those cars, I basically kind of did a hybrid exterior with a light interior detail just to get, because we had to get the paint back because it was so scratched. Some of those, Matt and I'd be wet sanding the roof, hood, and trunk to get those out. So
yeah. Here we go. G. Davis says, Hans Closen, I told him you're a TRC Hall of Famer and the former treasurer of the Swirl Police fan club. Yeah.
Treasurer, interesting choice.
Somebody has to do it. It's tough work.
Dollar
Riley
bills,
S. says, Dane, when you picked up your Jag, was the pre-purchase inspection done before or after you arrived, and how did you set that up?
Good question. It was kind of I planned to do it, but it was a last-minute thing in terms of how the timing worked out. I managed to develop a rapport with the owner of the car at the time, and we kind of worked out that he would drive it to a shop of my choosing, and I chose a shop that he had previously taken it to for some maintenance work. So I thought, that's a safe place. He trusts it. Then it's easier to get him on board with it. I had him drop the car off at Christian Brothers there in town because they're a large chain, so at least they're relatively well known.
I thought you hated chains.
I hate chains with food. That's different.
That doesn't make any sense, though. So you hate chains with food because they are consistent?
Consistent quality is what Dane's all about, except for when it comes to chains.
At a certain point, when they get too big, they start to turn down on the service. It's the whole thing.
Anyway,
I like that. I like that good old fashioned individual, privately owned,
good old fashioned
so.
homespun deliciousness. Morgan, you can attest to the deliciousness.
Wow,
of
this is going so off base. He's asking me a serious question. I'm trying to help him
here.
here.
It's the fun half. You crossed the fun half.
Anything could happen.
I just want to help the guy out.
Okay, how about you help the guy out by just saying, "Hey, I set it up by doing this."
So I set it up, and it cost me $120.
Okay.
And it was basically they did a very thorough, inspection. They're not going to do a diagnostic necessarily, but they are going to go through and check all the usual failure points. They'll check the paint quality. They'll do all this stuff. And I need somebody there on the ground who is independent to take a look at that stuff and let me know without necessarily letting the owner know what
Yeah.
they found out. So I
you
could hear separately.
you found that the owner was in a certain city,
Mhm.
and then you found a shop in that city.
That wasn't too far.
Wasn't too far, and then you scheduled the time and said, "Hey, I'm going to have you guys do a pre-purchase inspection for me." And they said, "Perfect, Thursday at 3:00. Have them drop it off." And then you called the owner and said, "Hey, I scheduled a pre-purchase inspection. If you could drop the car off there at this time, they're going to go through it and give me all the results."
So what I did was
Right.
I had the owner drop the car off the night before I was set to fly out. Then I flew there, and I made sure that the hotel I stayed at for the night was just up the street from that shop. And then I basically
on
made
it.
it so I could basically go and creep on it. I asked the owner, I was like, is it okay if they tell me I can do a test drive, stuff like that? And he said, that's okay. Worked it out with him. And basically, the shop was responsible while I was out driving it. But it was just a good way for me to get a hold on it because the guy was on a business trip and he couldn't
Right.
be present for when that stuff was happening. But luckily, the shop was really accommodating.
They became like a
And they made it
middleman
work.
for a second.
And the shop owner there was like really kind of a folksy, just help you out kind of dude. So
Some
very
might call him
helpful.
a Christian brother.
Well, you know
That's
what?
we're
He
not
gave
really.
off that
We
vibe,
shouldn't
so
assume his religious
saying.
standing.
just
or
saying,
what he
it was
could
a
have
good
been.
experience, and they were very helpful. And all in all, it told me what I
Yep.
needed to know
Very
before I
simple.
bought the
Well,
car.
there's a whole video coming
All
out
right,
on it
yeah.
next year.
Hans
Hans closes and
Closen.
says, G. Davis, I did not get my TRC Hall of Fame plaque in the mail yet. I think Luke Berge intercepted that package. He may have. If you heard the bushes rustling, I wanted to apologize, says Luke Berge, for not being here last several Q&As. After the whole tuba incident with Dane
Oh my
and his
God.
landscaper that I caused, I figured I should stay on the down low. That is probably for the better.
Hans says, "You've been missed, Luke." Luke says, "Hans, I'm holding it hostage till I get to your Roops rotary." G. Davis says, "Sugary bodily fluid, the next new product in the Wowo's line."
Oh dear.
After
So
creme de
that,
Dane. CC
Ugh.
detailing, "Oh my gosh, gee, what scent would that be?" LMFAO. Riley says, "What happened to the creme petition?" Luke Berger, "You'll be hearing from my lawyer." Luke
Oh,
says, "Still
boy.
there, not nearly enough signatures." Post a link in the comments after the show for everybody. John Holtz, my favorite people. What's up, guys? What's up, John?
Hey.
Very excited.
We're at the bottom now.
Wow.
done it.
Where do I sign? Repost Dane. G. Davis, CC detailing, the scent would be described as disappointment and failure. CC detailing. Luke says, "I can't put that in the comments." It's easy. Oh, I forgot, Anthony. Your cologne didn't make my 8th-month pregnant wife throw up. I was, however, forced to get it out immediately. I didn't mind.
Nice.
Nice.
Okay. Well,
Well, she wasn't sick, but she
Okay.
didn't want it in the house.
Dial
here's-
back the patchouli.
What is
Hopefully
amazing
the
is the
baby
fact
agrees.
that it's lasting that long on these order sheets.
Oh yeah. Very
You have to
nice.
think about that. Like, this
Yeah.
is getting through shipping,
Well, we're sealing them up in that little.
that envelope.
envelope.
Yeah.
How much should we pay Katie to break the bottle inside the Evo?
Morgan,
If you like it so much, then you'll
Why
love
would-
it when it's in the interior
Morgan,
of your Evo.
why would you want my relationship to fail like that?
Actually, we could do a very complicated setup where you know how Mercedes has those scents now. You put it in the glove box.
Oh,
and
Yeah.
gosh.
it goes through the
Love that.
whole
That'd be
filter
very
system.
nice.
We set one up. We like jury rig one into the Evo. So when he drives, it just
I don't know if we would have
right in
enough
his
time
face.
for that. I
Yeah.
don't think we would have enough time.
What we do is get a sponge, we soak it,
okay.
and then we put it in a Ziploc bag.
Okay.
We let it ferment a little bit.
Uh-huh.
He
And
loves
then-
kombucha.
And then you
Yep.
poke a hole in it.
Nope. And then we just crack it open a little bit.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
we go sneakily put it in his car when he's not looking.
Me in the center console.
Well, under the
Okay.
seat, so you
Oh,
can't
under the
see
seat.
it.
Okay.
we would have to distract him somehow.
Yeah.
Or
Real
the seat
talk.
pocket
One
behind
thing
the
I've
seat.
done recently, right? So, as you guys know, right, there's tons of different air fresheners solution packages
Oh,
for your
no.
vehicle, right?
Right.
There is plenty of different sprays, everything from famous products such as Dank by Masterson's Car Care, all the way to the Rag Company and Wowo's air freshener solution packages. Now, I want to chime in to say, when it comes down to liquid sprays,
What if
okay,
we take some Rag Company air fresheners that perhaps we've been using,
yeah,
Oh no.
Where
I
the
know
scent
where
has
this
kind
is
of been
going.
released.
I don't like it.
and we soak them
Oh.
in All Day Anthony?
Just
That sounds like
pure-
a lawsuit. Like that
Yeah.
just
In
sounds
the
like
All
a
Day
lawsuit.
Cologne?
I don't want to do
Because
that.
what if
and
someone
then we
passes
and then
out
we
while
zip
they're
them back
driving?
up and then ship them to friends of
Okay.
the program.
What I need to just
free.
say,
I
right,
don't even
is
think you can mail
most
it.
of these scents, these spray
boy.
scents that you're
Mail it.
spraying,
It's a
are
hazardous
oil-based,
material.
right? So let's just say you're using whatever. Maybe you're using the chemical guy scents. Maybe you're using the atom scents. Whatever it is. Most of them are oil-based, right? And they say to spray them into your carpet, spray them into your fabric seats, spray them into your floor mats, whatever it is to release the scent, right?
Right.
Now,
It'll
here's the
hold it.
deal.
It'll hold it.
It'll hold it, right? The problem that I find with that is that you can only spray so much of this oil-based scent into your fabric
Right,
before
because
it
starts
gets
to turn black.
starts to get greasy and starts to feel bad. Now, that's the reason why
Well,
they
it
say
looks
not to spray it onto your plastic, right? Because you spray it on your plastic, you're going to have this big old oil stain on there.
Right.
And the sun hits that oil stain, it can actually stain it, right? You can stain your plastics based on that fragrance, right?
yeah.
So, as some people know, I actually am a big fan of the Angel Wax air fresheners. I like the Bliss. I like the Eden. I think they're great. I just don't want to spray them into my carpets or my fabric or anything like that in the Civic, right? So what I've been doing lately is I've just been spraying them into simply a folded shop towel, right,
Okay.
or whatever it is, right, like a little paper towel, and I just set it in, set it on the floor on the rubber mats, or I set it somewhere inconspicuous. Now it looks kind of weird having a bunch of these wadded up paper towels in my car, but basically, I
They're
find
kind of crunchy.
well, it's just kind of weird looking when somebody sits in your car like, so what are these paper towels in
Do you
here?
have a runny nose?
Should I come back another time?
Yeah. So,
Are you
but
busy?
they do notice that it does smell good, though. So
Yeah,
the thing is, I guess what I'm trying to say is that if you are looking to get the most out of a spray scent, but you do not want that staining your carpet or filling your carpet full of oils or other things, right? Spray it into a paper towel. Throw it in the car for a couple days. Put it on a surface that's not going to stain or anything. Let it sit there. Let it obviously get throughout the system of the car, and you'll be good to go. Just know that it's going to look kind of weird if you don't clear those out from time to
So
time.
I do want to highly recommend the scent portables from Bath and Body Works.
Ooh.
I don't know if
Oh,
you
wow.
guys have ever ventured into there.
Morgan,
You
this is a
probably
detailing
haven't.
podcast.
I'm listening though. I want to know
Right.
more about this.
So they actually have a very wide selection of these. I'm sure you've seen them in
Yeah.
girls' cars.
Nope.
You've never seen those little things that they clip
Morgan,
onto.
I
the-
have a wife, and I do not get in other girls' cars.
These have been around for at least since you were in high school 30
Nope.
years ago.
Nope.
No?
I wasn't aware they've been producing them that long, but please go on.
Well, when the Industrial Revolution happened, Dane,
Oh, my.
No, okay,
We're
this is
going
getting
way back.
unrealistic. This is very unrealistic.
no, so they're basically like little round things that have like a a permeable membrane, but
Okay.
not permeable for liquid, just for the scent. And then there's like a scent oil in there,
Correct.
right? And you clip it into a little holder, and it clips up onto your visor.
So it's like a disc.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I've seen
Okay,
that
so
kind of
those-
thing before.
They have tons of those. They have tons of different scents. They have ones that are more masculine. They have feminine ones. They have winter ones, summer ones, ton of them. And you can get them on a pretty good sale because Bath and Body Works always has sales because I don't even really know how they're still in business. But you can get them on really good sales and they last for a while.
So that's great, Morgan.
So like a month
but,
or
but here's
so?
the deal, though.
Oh, more
That's
than
for
that.
people
Oh,
that
okay.
want to jump into that category or that catalog of scent. Now, if you are already a fan of, let's just say, Dank by Mastersons or Whiskey by Mastersons, or let's just say
Two things
like,
you really don't want your car to smell like if
yeah,
you get pulled over.
I'm just saying, maybe that you're a fan of a particular
It's
scent.
hot in here.
You,
Yeah,
the
it's
only
toasty.
way you're going to be able to get
Morgan,
that
you
scent in
have
your
a
car is
hoodie
by spraying it or putting it into a paper towel and folding it up.
If you want to be a boomer and be an old-fashioned person, then go for it. But people have invented the great solutions of your favorite candle is now a car scent
okay.
that you can put in.
So I'm a big fan of
Yeah.
all the great things Bed Bath and Body Works or
Bed-
Bath and Body Works sell.
Way to combine the two.
Bath-
That's
wonderful
fun.
place.
Bed Bath and Beyond is next
I
door.
also do like going to Bed Bath and Beyond as well.
Well,
Two
I'm
great
Can't get
stores.
enough
Yeah.
So
sharper
Bath
image
and Body
products.
Works has a scent called Ocean that I've been a big
It is
fan
very
of
nice, yeah.
since I was in high school.
Oh. I like
Um,
the Juniper Breeze or Juniper
Wow.
whatever it was. That
Juniper
my
was
favorite,
anything.
my
It's
favorite
one of my
scent is
favorites.
mahogany teakwood. They also have
Ooh.
one that's scented called flannel, and I really think you guys would enjoy
What does
that.
flannel smell like?
I don't know how to describe it, but it's
Smells
really
like
good.
Smells Canadian.
No, it just smells really good, and that's what
Dixon's?
I normally put in my car in
Smells
the
like
winter
Dixon's.
time.
yeah.
But
All right.
everyone wants to be rude
All right.
So never
Hey,
mind.
I'm gonna go do that because that sounds good.
Great idea,
Thanks,
Morgan.
Dane.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
support
Thanks
that.
Luke
everyone
Berge,
except for
CC
Anthony.
Detailing. Do you have Facebook? CC, yes, sir. I'll search you, sir. G. Davis, reference the Luke Berge Visits TRC Solution Package. Is that royal treatment an upsale item, or can normal people like myself qualify for it? G.
my.
Davis, like we said, if you come on out.
We're
and,
open to the public.
We are open to the public.
Our
You can
doors
come
are
on in.
open. Our homes are open
Yep.
to you.
Dane's
Dane's home is
mail room
specifically
is
open.
actually up
He's
on
starting to turn it.
Airbnb.
He's
Like-
starting to turn it into a bedroom.
Nah,
that
I don't
people
like
can
that.
use.
I thought he was
I
gonna
like-
say an animal sanctuary,
Like
but
Dane, think about this. Think about like G staying in the room, right, with
Oh,
tons of
so
mail
nice.
everywhere, right?
I don't
With-
want G
with-
staining
with-
the room.
with
Thank
the
you.
with the Christmas tree, right,
the mail's
hanging in there,
protected.
right?
Yes.
And then maybe what's going to be great is that G always manages to leave a gift behind, right? He always leaves something behind
Well, the G
for
is for
people to
gift.
remember him by, right?
Oh.
Gift
I
Davis.
can imagine G checking out of your house, right? He's saying, Dane,
And
thanks
leave a
for-
5-star review.
You know, he's like, thanks for hosting
That's
me.
a gift.
I'm gonna leave you a 5-star review. You know, everything. I left a little something for you in the room, but wait till I'm gone, right?
Right.
Oh no.
Dane's gonna walk into a beautiful swing hanging in that room,
Ah.
It's gonna be lovely.
and it's something that
Mounted,
he's gonna install and
strong,
strong.
mounted into the beams,
Yeah,
cross beams, so no one's
he
gonna be
went straight into
falling
the
off of
studs on
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah.
I mean, not the only studs, but
Yeah.
all right, moving down.
Scott Weaver, how do you clean wool pads? Fun fact, Scott, you blow them out or throw them in the washing machine.
Yep.
We use compressed air and a spur, or you can spray them with water. You can use a pad washer. They're the same way you
Lot of
clean
great
all of them
options.
stuff. But yeah, you can throw them in the washing machine. That's fine. Riley, yes. Dane, do any of your film school projects exist on the internet anywhere?
Not anywhere that's
I have a
safe for
YouTube
work.
channel called Dane Show. I had like 30 subscribers. I didn't build it up too much. I used
He
to
has
have
a
an older
zombie
one that had a
movie.
much larger one. That zombie one is on a different channel I used to have way back in the day. That was
What's that one
that was
called?
like middle school, high school. So that's where the really
What's that
embarrassing
YouTube
stuff
channel
is.
called?
I'm definitely not bringing that up.
Don't worry, we'll find
They'll
it.
find it. I'm sure they'll find
Someone
it.
will find it and leak it.
But yes, no, there were fun videos on their kind of high school project-y stuff. As far as my film school projects, I was actually mostly in film school working on other people's projects.
I would
as
like to see those other
kind
people's
of
product.
PA
Yeah, me
work and
too.
stuff.
I
There were
wanna
like
see
music
those.
videos and stuff. There was a band called
Ooh.
Parker Theory that we did a music for. There was some other ones, but
Ooh, Lincoln Park.
Parkway
no.
Drive.
Oh,
there
Dang,
were
that's
other
an
ones,
incredible
but
opportunity.
basically it was around 2008, 2009. So that was where you'd find some of those music videos, bands and stuff. So there you go. I got to play with fake snow and all that. So that was
very
fun.
Oh,
nice.
fake
Yeah.
snow.
Luke Berge, is there a date for the DD event? Yes, Luke, the last weekend of June. So hold on a second. Let me pull that calendar out
Ooh.
here and see.
The
Gosh,
TRC does
I
the
pumped
East
some
Coast
iron
Adventure.
last night,
Did
and,
you actually go down?
Yeah, I
do
was.
it?
Well, I didn't go to the gym. I just did it from home, and I did
Wow.
a couple. You were doing those incline when we were at
bent over rows.
bent over
yeah.
rows. I did a few of those. Did
You-
25 each side
Yeah.
with a 20-pound
Got a
dumbbell.
good back pump.
Felt pretty good. Yeah, my shoulders are a little sore today, but they feel good. I'm gonna do it again tonight.
Noise.
All right, so June for Detailers Domain, we're going to be there hosting the open house that weekend. It's the 26th, 27th, 28th.
Okay.
We were going to be there at Detailers Domain. So
Psyched.
June. So
Done.
and let's see, LMFAO. Luke can't put it like okay. We already got that down there.
Let's see. So
James
yeah.
DePayne, the hashtag the detail game. G. Davis says, Riley, yes, please check out the Dane Show channel. Lots of gold level content there.
Oh boy.
Bearded Hunter says, put me on the list, lol. I don't remember which one he's talking about. James DePayne, hashtag the detail game. How long after you apply G-Technic CSL and EXO can you apply Beadmaker? Well, they will
nice.
say that
Where
you
did
should
these all
do
come
C2SV3 or C2VS3.
C2,
You should do that
V3.
first. Make sure you've got a good, month, then switch to Beadmaker if you're going to do that. You want to make sure that you stay in the G-Technic family for at least a while till it's cured. G. Davis, Anthony sent should have been part of the Valentine's Day special for those who want to end a relationship or kill small rodents. There's
Perfect.
still time, G.
Perfect.
There is still time. Remember,
Yes.
folks, if you're buying things, put in the comments section that you'd also like a spritz of the all-day cologne. And Anthony will be fine to play Cupid for you.
Not
And
proud
you
of
will regret it.
Yeah. Michael Harper says, "What's up, y'all? A detailing question. I have some chips in my clear coat. Will a compound and polish with a polisher hurt these areas? Not usually. You can
check
usually,
to see if it's like coming up a little bit around the edges.
You can usually go over a paint chip and it's not gonna lift. Very rarely will that happen. But maybe just be a little bit more cautious.
Older
around them.
paint may be more brittle, but newer paint shouldn't.
Rectangle says, "I think I finally did it, guys. I think I have too much bead maker on my Tacoma. Streaks like crazy." Yeah,
Yes, you did it.
Time.
Sounds
You
about
did it.
right.
That's a
You can polish
sign.
it down and start again.
Ricky's headed out to dinner, guys. Take care and have a great night. See you, man.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
Adios.
Christina Salas, thank you, Morgan. I'm heading to Bed Bath & Beyond
So
now.
thanks to Levi for
Boom.
confusing
Boom.
everyone. The
Yep.
scents are at Bath and Body Works.
Yeah, Bath
Yes.
& Body Works, not Bed Bath.
I was
&
gonna
Beyond.
say she'll be really
But
disappointed.
you
when
can
she
get
gets
some
there.
great pots and pans. You can get
Yep.
some great
Sharper image
back
products.
massagers.
That's like all I remember from
Yep.
that Bath
Get some
and
great
Beyond.
bathroom.
So there's
things.
massagers there. They have a lot of cool different things.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
mirror that
Fans.
talks to you. Yeah,
Oh,
stuff
that's
like
a beautiful.
A lot of
that's
great
thing,
options.
Yeah,
Yep. Rectangle says, "Flannel smells like Levi."
yeah
Probably
does.
Probably.
Dr. Sudsy says, "Hello from Missouri." And we got Sheldon here, says, "Gauntlet bath towel, 36 by 60 microfiber
Ooh.
luxury
Oof.
every morning."
Oh,
We
very
knew
nice.
That
someone
would
was
be-
gonna do
luxurious.
that.
G. Davis from Luke Berge says, "Dane doesn't want to let you sleep in the mailroom. He wants to share
Yeah.
the California
That
King
is
with
true.
you."
That is mighty
that is true.
presumptuous.
Dane is a giving person.
He
He
is.
is.
Well, as an
Dane's a
expert, I'd
cuddler.
say do those ceramic sprays used nowadays crust rags if
Crust.
left like a coating would. No, but they will seal up a towel and make
Mm-hmm.
it hydrophobic, just like the paint.
Yeah,
So,
those pores don't
yeah.
last.
So you want
under
to
that.
soak them, and you want to so you want to soak them and actually let them keep them wet.
Yeah.
Keep
before
like
you
a
wash
water
'em.
bucket handy you
Yep.
can drop them into.
Yep. Yeah, that way you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
Luke, first one to find Dane's hidden channel wins a gauntlet blanket from Dane.
Oh.
Oh man.
I don't recall giving those away.
Well, as an expert, I'd say, do they answer questions from this live chat, or is it like an email? Send it.
We do it
are
here.
answering your questions
Right here.
as you type them.
Yeah.
So, well, as an expert, I'd say.
That is the goal.
Tim, bring it down a little bit more if you can.
Down, down, down. What do we got? What do we got?
Oh, there we go.
A little bit more.
Alright.
There we
G.
go.
Davis says, "I'll attach a swing to Dane's Wright Brothers style ceiling fan."
I like propellers.
Yep. I forgot that was a thing.
Uh-huh.
Aaron's Random Life says, "Luckily, Bed Bath & Beyond carries the Yankee Candle car jars, so it's not a total loss."
I guess
You're
that's
right.
true.
Yeah.
Not quite the same, but you're getting there.
Better sense though at Bath and Body Works. I
Yep,
will
Christine
say.
says, "Oops, Bath and Body Works, hee. Thanks for the correction, guys." We
Good
got
save.
Alec Higgy says, "Hello from Denver, Mile High."
Hello.
And we have, well, as an expert says, "What's a good thing to soak them in? Vinegar? You could do vinegar and water, a little
Yeah,
bit
you
of water
could,
and
you could
vinegar.
just do even car wash soap and
Yeah.
water. You could do all-purpose cleaner and some water. You could do O&R and water.
Yeah.
The key is just to keep them wet.
Yeah.
We says, good idea. Then we have Alfredo Martinez says, "I'm having major issues with bead maker.
Oh.
It seems to be a dust magnet. My car only stays clean for about 24 hours after a very intricate detail. Any suggestions?"
Alfredo, is this while it's just sitting in your garage? Or is this like because it's
Sitting
out
outside?
and about?
Have you
it's
driven it
windy and
immediately?
you're driving. A lot of people we noticed, because they've cleaned their car so much, they clean it and then they use bead maker on it, and they're like, man, it's so slick and it's so glossy
Yeah.
that what they're actually seeing is a normal amount of dust on their surface, but they feel like because it's so shiny, they are seeing more dust than normal.
The visual element is
so
exacerbated.
One thing we've noticed is if you're parking your car during that curing, that first 24 hours, if you're parking it in your garage, you won't see that level of dust.
No.
If you're parking it outside and you're letting it sit, you're going to get more dust just because it's outside in the elements. You may get a gust of wind. You may get people driving by. There's all kinds of stuff that's going to happen to it. But we noticed that it cures better if it's in a contained environment, and it doesn't attract as much. So, basically.
Jeez, I can't take
Luke
that.
Berge, mount it near the fan,
Oh,
extra cooling.
no.
That's right, man.
Yeah.
Michael Harper, thanks, y'all. Got quite a few towels headed my way tomorrow. Hopefully, spritzed with Anthony's essence.
Like, that's not okay.
That's a phrase that doesn't get said
So
often.
I guess my question would be, though, is that so when I don't see, so basically I have the essence of me in my office in a bottle. So are the packers coming up and spraying that?
You might just have to put it downstairs for them.
Just set it on
Save
the table.
some time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That downstairs is gonna stink.
I still think it would
They
be
will
better
hate
if we
it.
just smashed it at Anthony's house.
Like
That would solve
no,
a
like
lot
here's the
of
deal, Morgan.
problems.
It's
the
a
dogs would drink it.
It's a 3.4 ounce bottle, and we've probably used maybe 3.39 of the thing. So
I think you may just have to put it downstairs, or just set it up there by Nate's desk, so they can just come up the stairs, give it a spritz, and then Nate
I
gets
thought you were
to
gonna say
enjoy
you
it.
may just have to put it down. I'm like, well, it's not a pet.
And then, and
Yeah.
then
Dane.
Nate will get a view.
What is wrong
nice,
with you?
Nate will get a nice reminder.
yeah,
every
it's
little
not
sad,
good.
but
All right, so we got 30 minutes left, so let's make it weird. So, Dane, here's my question for you, and I asked this a little bit earlier, and I want to know why.
oh no.
You have to sit 12 hours on a ride at Disneyland. Do you sit 12 hours on Pirates of the Caribbean or 12 hours at Indiana Jones?
Okay. I was afraid you were gonna
Sit
say
12
it's a
hours.
small world.
Oh,
but
No,
Get
I
on
would-
the ride?
So, no, 12 hours of sitting on
You
the
have to
same ride.
non-stop ride the same
Indiana
ride.
Jones or Pirates of the Caribbean?
I'll
What do
take
you
Pirates personally.
Pirates.
I would
Yeah.
take Pirates because it's a lot of up and down, and it's more flat.
I was
You
gonna
would-
say the water is
You would
floating.
be all right. You would be all right for
so-
12 hours.
It's cooler.
Where
down there.
Indiana Jones is a little more bumpy, a little more, there's just a slight breeze from the darts that go by.
I mean, I'm comfortable
fun.
at sea on a boat. I know some people get seasick for whatever reason.
You're not-
I'm not one
you're
of
not
those
at
people.
sea on
But
So
Pirates of
in
the Caribbean,
in
you're on a
water, in
track,
movement,
so you
it's
know.
nice to have a little bit of motion. Whereas if you're on the Indiana Jones ride, you're like on a rail. You're just fixed. in
okay,
place the
I have
whole time.
a follow-up question.
Yeah.
Would you guys rather be stranded on a boat in the middle of the ocean, or would you rather be stranded in the woods?
In the woods, because I could build a
In the
fort.
woods, Morgan. Absolutely in the woods.
Well,
What-
Okay, well, it
I
sounds
also-
like Dane's gonna say
Are-
that he's
are
rather-
we-
Also, I can't swim, Morgan. So
yeah.
I need
No,
to be
I've
on the
seen
boat.
Castaway. It looked like a nightmare.
Yeah.
I mean, it really depends. Is this just like ongoing forever, or do you get rescued?
You
at some
don't know.
point?
You don't know.
Okay,
Just
so the
stranded.
mystery. Yeah.
So you have the mystery of basically dying by bear in the woods, potentially.
No, you
oh,
build
it's
a
not
fort.
just bears you gotta look out for. It's like all
Well,
kinds of critters.
Lions
Well,
and tigers.
Honestly, I mean, basically,
I would
ideally,
use-
you just
I
need to
would
be the
use-
bear.
I would use my National Security Agency coaster,
Uh-huh.
and then I would then use it as a handle of some sort or a blade of some sort to cut wood, chop
Yeah.
some wood,
Yeah.
and then I would use it as an indispensable
Yeah.
tool. I'd also use it to fight off a bear if I needed to.
Okay.
So
But
here's
I'd
the
make a bunch of pointed sticks.
going
first.
back to what I was saying. Here,
I
so
would
here's-
rather eat fish than squirrel. I'm
So
just saying.
Here's the deal, right? Back to the whole Pirates of the Caribbean thing, right? You could almost sleep on Pirates of the Caribbean
could.
if it wasn't for the one big drop.
Right.
That will ruin you.
Yeah.
Right? Every time. You don't really have that type of drop at Indiana Jones, right? You have the
No.
one kind of drop, but you're moving at a much faster
it's
pace.
very jerky.
It is
So-
very herky-jerky.
Okay, so the next question is, right? You have to eat hot dogs or corn dogs for the rest of your life. What do you choose?
Corn dogs.
corn dogs.
Corn dogs.
I am going to disagree with all of you. I'm a hot dog guy.
I love hot dogs too, but this is the best of both worlds.
So
This is
Yes.
breaded deliciousness.
No, so a corn dog, right? I don't like the way the corn film leaves a film in your mouth, right? It's kind of gritty. I don't like that.
It's fine
It's
with you.
cornbread.
Followed,
I will
followed with
say-
the Diet Pepsi. It's delicious.
A cheap corn dog, no, but like a nice gourmet corn dog. There are
No,
some
I
nicer
would-
ones
I
out
I
there
will
for
eat the
gourmet
ones
corn
that are
dog, Dane.
frozen
That's
from
a
the
regular corn dog.
from the
So
frozen
that's a
section.
Foster Farms corn dog is what you're referring to,
Dang.
Morgan. But that's the thing.
I
I
did
am
have those throughout college. Like some people eat ramen. I had corn dogs in a box.
so basically
Of course you did,
really
Dane.
kind
That
of
makes a
about
lot
right.
of sense.
so what I'm saying
answers a
Couldn't
lot of
afford
que-
Slim
That
Jims. You had
was
to
a lot
go
of
for the-
questions.
well, but I mean we're basically talking Pronto Pup corn dogs versus fair-worthy
I would-
hot dogs.
I would eat Pronto Pup corn dogs.
Corn dog.
now,
over
if
a
it,
fair-worthy
was a
hot dog.
Costco hot dog, I might change my mind. I
Nope,
love me a
I-
Costco.
Oh
hot
my
No,
dog.
God.
I couldn't eat a Costco hot dog that much.
every day.
No, I
No.
did it every day. I did it for a
If
while.
it had relish on it and stuff.
See,
I'm
I
all right
could
with that.
absolutely
The
do
shop
that.
I managed was right across the street, and so I literally went to Costco every day for lunch because it was a cheap $1.50,
Yep.
and I got a hot dog and a
Yeah,
soda.
soda.
And let me tell you, after about 2-3 weeks of that,
You're
don't
tired.
you don't want to eat
Okay.
hot dogs anymore because they're
Next-
steamed. They're
Next
not-
random question I have before jumping into
cooked.
more questions
not like
is that tomorrow's Valentine's Day. It's
Yeah.
a romantic day full of,
edible
things,
arrangements.
edible arrangements. It's
No.
full of, new children coming to life, right? What
Those are
romantic
called November birthdays.
what romantic
November and
plans
December kids were
does
usually,
everybody have for
usually
tomorrow? Let's
born.
start with Levi. Romantic plans starting with you.
I'm coming to work,
Okay?
and then I'm going to go home
Yeah.
and hang out with my children
Okay.
and give my wife the night off.
Nice. I like the
Very
way that
thoughtful,
sounds.
Very nice.
Dane, what do you got going on with Liz? A little hot night on the town. Maybe you and her drinking a couple of hot toddies next to a fireplace.
Possibly open-ended on the movie front. We may go see a movie. Don't know which one yet. But for dinner, it's either going to be sushi or Cahoots, which is a nice little steakhouse.
I was thinking you were going to take her to Del Frisco's.
I'm not familiar with that one.
It's a steakhouse, a famous steakhouse. It's very delicious.
Oh, here in the
Um,
Boise Treasure Valley
Nope,
area?
it's in New York.
I was going to
So-
say, I don't know that one.
So you're thinking probably Cahoots, right? A good time. Maybe something. What was the other option?
It was going to be Cahoots or a sushi place. Hadn't decided which one yet.
Nice. you
Nothing
spend some money
screams
on her.
romanticism like raw fish. Now, Morgan, what do you got going on?
We love sushi, sorry.
Well, since I have half days on Fridays, obviously, in the morning, I will be enjoying a breakfast in bed while you guys are all here.
You know what's going to be
Ooh.
great? My
So-
favorite is that Matt's going to be here tomorrow, bringing a Valentine's Day gift
He did do that last
for
year.
his daughter.
yeah.
And I'm going to be the one to receive it. So it's going to be like Matt is my Valentine.
I would also like to
I'm
be a
very
part
excited
of
about
that, and so I will accept
No,
that from Morgan's
I
father.
I don't think he'll do that because he doesn't work downtown anymore.
Okay.
So,
Well, he might.
so
We'll see.
breakfast in bed
We'll see
is
who stops
Brandon.
by
Is Brandon
first.
a good breakfast maker?
Probably not. I will probably make the breakfast and take it
Oh.
back to bed.
Well, that kind of
you're
defeats
so you're
the,
having
the whole
Valentine's
fun
Day
of
for
the-
yourself.
Oh,
Pretty much. That's
that's a
pretty much.
bummer.
Okay.
That's pretty much how
Nice.
it
What's
is.
Brandon
Oh,
going to
all
get
right.
to do? Play video games?
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah. Well,
okay.
good for Morgan.
Anthony, what are you guys doing?
Here's the bus.
Thanks for asking. I'm gonna be coming to work tomorrow, showing up, putting a smile on my face.
Are you going to wear
and then
red tomorrow? I think I'll wear red tomorrow.
I am gonna be wearing a red Dixon flannel.
I
So
think
I'm
it's a
gonna be
great
wearing
idea. I
red.
think I will
Nice.
too.
Yeah. To
it's
just
perfect.
kind of celebrate the day.
Well, we don't want to
Um,
wear the wrong color so we don't get pinched.
Yeah.
Mm.
Exactly. So I
It's
was
not
thinking.
St. Patrick's Day.
Dane, it's Valentine's Day. St. Patrick's Day is an Irish holiday.
It-
Has
yeah,
nothing to do with
yeah.
pinching.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Alright.
if you okay.
Yeah. It's kind of something.
It's the green thing, but
yeah,
sure.
There's a
So
gray
you wear
area there.
green, so you
Valentine's
don't-
Day, we never did that.
Yeah,
Okay.
if it's St. Patrick's Day and you're not wearing green, you get a punch in the face. That's how it's supposed to work.
Yeah.
We settled for pinching, but
Yeah.
sure.
Well, that's again a Valentine's Day thing.
Back to what I'm doing. I'm
Yeah.
probably going to be going out to dinner, right?
Yep.
Or making dinner. So I was actually asking Levi earlier, what is the most romantic cut of steak, right? So
I said ribeye.
you said ribeye. Dane is more of a New York steak kind of
The
guy.
New York strip is kind
Or
of
you-
a cop out. It's a half-ass.
I actually
kinda-
like filet mignon, but that's just me.
Well,
Dane-
again, not that great of a piece of meat.
Yeah. So
Beg to differ.
I
It's not,
want
Dane.
something with
Not
little-
compared to a
with-
ribeye.
I want something that's going to really kind of
Corn dogs.
I want something that's going to be not only delicious, right,
Why
but I
not?
want the fat to really kind of caramelize
Here's what I'm
into
gonna
that
say:
flavor.
get yourself a nice couple ribeyes
Yeah.
with a good fat content. and
Yeah.
some nice marbling.
Marbling. Yeah.
But you want more fat on the ribeye. That's one of the things a lot of people think is that I got to cut all the fat off. You want the fat because you need
The
it
flavor.
in the flavor
Yeah.
of the steak, and
Ah.
then you only cook it with kosher salt, ground pepper,
A little bit of butter.
and half a cube of butter
Yeah.
per
So-
steak. So use 1 cube. You cut them up, put the bunch of tabs on, let that butter just soak.
Something like that. Maybe some red potatoes and maybe a little bit of spinach on the side. I don't know. Have a romantic meal, but then we're probably also going to go see a movie. Maybe go catch the
Okay.
same movie that
Very nice.
Dane's going to catch.
Oh, that'd be a great idea.
and
Double
we're gonna,
date.
We're gonna
Double
be
date.
watching Fantasy Island.
Sounds like a great
Yeah, I
time.
don't think we'll be going to see
You're
that.
not gonna go see
Okay.
Tennessee? Okay.
Dane's more of a Parasite guy. So
Yeah.
getting back to the comments.
Oh,
and
that's
the
a great movie,
questions.
though. Seriously, everyone should see
All right.
that.
So,
I don't even
Gee,
know where we were
so
at.
Michael Harper, thanks. Y'all got quite a few towels headed my way tomorrow. Hopefully spritz with Anthony's Essence. CC Detailing, I got it on Anthony's business card
Oh, yeah.
in a bag, sealed in a box, and I could smell it on my steps as I walked up to the house.
Everything in that box was tainted. We're
Luke
so
says,
sorry.
gee, I think we got to create a whole lot of, whoa,
Oh my
Whoa.
god.
a
lot of
whole lot
scrolling.
of if you can hang from it, bang from it t-shirts, and ask
no.
for the entire TRC employee group pick.
Everybody
Luke,
wearing
it's
those
funny,
shirts,
but I
huh?
don't think everyone will wear those.
Yeah, they don't understand.
Michael Harper, that's a strength I could get behind. G. Davis, so the rumors that that the Anthony sent is getting women pregnant are not true. No, they're actually
the
hurting
opposite, yeah.
people. Luke's laughing. CC Detailing said something bad, and then he said, "My wife retracted that one."
I
Good
believe
for
it.
her. Good for her.
G.
Taking
Davis,
a stand against
I have a teen
this.
daughter who just started dating. I'll buy what's left of Anthony's scent and use it as strategically as a protective father.
I mean, I bet it would work.
And I would pay cash money to watch Dane fight a bear.
Me too.
Luke says
Oh,
Mountain Dew
boy.
is greater than Diet Pepsi. Change my mind. I don't have to, Luke, because you'll drink enough Mountain Dew. Anyway, Hans
What?
blows in looking for my own air freshener hangers myself with my company's
Scroll
logo on it.
down.
Any tips for what to look
Two.
for? I love the ones from TRC. They're not overpowering, scented when you open it the first time. Hans, that's just customairfresheners.net. They're a company in Portland, or customairfresheners.com.
Yeah.
Company in Portland. We just put in a request, picked the scents, and sent our logo to them, and then we bought a lot of them.
Yeah.
So Luke, my man, CC Detailing is getting signatures. G. Davis, thank you, CC. CC, bro, I blasted the petition to everyone I know and all my followers. We're getting that fragrance done.
Creme de Dane.
G. Davis, new
This is
children
completely
coming
out of
to
my
life.
hands.
What the what?
Yeah, exactly, G.
Yeah.
CC Detailing door-to-door starts Saturday. Don't know what that is.
The petition.
Oh, the petition. Dane is more of a Jack-in-the-Box guy.
No.
No, he's
he-
actually the...
He's a Panda
he's a-
Express.
No, he
What
is a
fan?
Jack in the Box. He does
a
like Jack
Wendy's
in the
man.
Box.
I'm
He's
down
a
with Jack.
Express
That's like
man.
Liz's favorite.
Oh,
He is an
Tiny tacos.
So the one
now.
thing that I miss, Jack in the Box used to do this.
Yeah.
garlic
called-
herb fries.
No, they were called big cheeseburgers.
I do remember the big cheeseburger. A great
they were like
freaking
a
deal.
buck 25 or buck 50.
No,
So cheap.
they were $1.59 is what
They
they
were
were.
$1.59.
Yeah.
Me and my friends, we'd go there after a evening. We'd get ourselves some burgers. We get 6 of those for the 3 of us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
When Carly and I were first married, we'd go there, pick up a couple burgers, get 4 of those. When we'd go home, I'd eat 3 of them myself and 1 for her.
Okay.
And that was a great, delicious after dinner snack.
So I want
big
to
cheeseburger.
want to tell you something.
Your
You know what I
metabolism
did?
saved you.
My
I-
metabolism did save me. It's called Graves' disease, Dane,
Okay.
where I had an overactive thyroid
So-
that I had to have removed.
College,
trade.
right? My lunch at college, what I'd usually do, right? I'd go down to Jack in the Box. I would get 2 big cheeseburgers, right?
Mhm.
For $1.59 a piece. I would swap out sourdough bread for 10 cents, right? So they'd
Oh,
swap out
what?
sourdough
You
on
could
there.
do that?
I would add tomatoes, right? And add bacon. I would make a sourdough jack, right?
Yeah.
It came out to
$1.70?
No, it was like two bucks even, right? So for $4, I got 2 sourdough jacks, and they said, "Yeah, this is like flawed. You probably shouldn't be able to do this, but we're just gonna roll with it." And so I did that every day for about a year.
Wow.
Yeah,
Amazing.
I loved it.
Well, and I felt bad when they got rid of it. I was like, "Do you guys got big cheeseburgers?"
They're
Like, no, we
they're
got-
probably losing their butt
got
on that.
jumbo jacks,
man.
and you can get them all plain.
And
I
they
was like,
they
they're not
skyrocketed the
same.
price of
They
jumbo
did.
jacks.
Yeah.
Literally skyrocketed. And I said, "You are not the Big Mac. You can't do
Nope,
that."
Nope. So, all right, Luke Berge, best steak I've ever had: filet mignon in the Coastal Kitchen on the Anthem of the Seas. It was delicious beyond belief.
Wow.
G. Davis, what Valentine gift would you get a single mom who drives a mid-'80s special edition Camaro? That's gonna be that's a tough one.
What do
G.
you
Davis
get the
says,
person
Luke
who has
Berge's Love Boat.
everything?
Rectangle, can we get a Rag Company coffee mug? That'd be pretty cool. Riley S says, I agree. That would be great. And G. Davis, great idea.
Got a lot
So,
of
fun fact,
fans.
we actually have Rag Company coffee mugs.
They were gifts to the
they
employees.
They were Christmas gifts for
Yeah.
all the employees. You've probably seen it in some of our other videos. We've got them, we're holding them, or we're
They
sitting
have
them.
our names on them.
Dane's was actually Dane drank so much coffee out of his, it's turned brown on the
Oh.
inside. He uses it so much.
It actually stained like a permanent
It's permanently
stain.
stained brown.
Tried taking steel wool to it, couldn't even break through.
Dedicated to the craft of coffee.
Yep.
Yeah.
Riley, yes, that would be great. Rectangle. Yep. Dang, I still haven't opened my air freshener, says Luke. Luke, what are you waiting for? Andy White, I would buy a Rag Company mug. And then G. Davis says, Dane can appreciate a tender panda.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bait Addict's back saying, sorry for being late, Baiter's Syndicate. Nice.
Yeah. Well, he can't, the baiter happened to showed up at 4:48.
Bait 40.
Bait
Or
40.
Yep, that's perfect timing.
Yeah.
440
But
bait.
no, the coffee mugs could be something we'll look into, seeing what it would
There's
take.
a lot of people that want these
A lot
coffee
of people
cups.
seem to want it. Second, the cup movement. We'd have to come up with something a little cooler. I'd prefer like a Dixon style mug, like something
Ooh.
a very large, impressive mug. You
Something
know,
that's just bigger.
bigger and better.
Hmm.
Yeah.
going
We
on
can
here?
we can do some research.
We could make a
You know.
whiskey style mug where it's black.
Ooh.
with
So
the
what if
whiskey
so
logo
so
on
if
it?
these were coming in around
What if we
$10
made
a
actual
piece, would
whiskey
people
glasses with the
buy
whiskey
them at
logo on 'em?
$10?
That would be nice.
Because I'm
too.
trying to think, like, I want to go above and beyond on this mug,
Yeah.
and it's going to be more pricey.
If you're gonna
than
pay
normal
for it,
mug.
you're gonna get a nice one. That's the thing.
Yeah. Here we go. So Bait Addict says, just one question. Any other way to remove lint from towels aside from washing and tumble dry? I remember watching a Junkman video years ago throwing in a really cheap towel in the batch.
No.
Hmm.
So, okay. So that works the opposite way. So if you have clothes and you're drying clothes, and let's say you got dog hair on them, you got lint on them, and you just want to get rid of all that, sacrifice a microfiber towel to the gods. Throw it in the dryer. The dryer, that microfiber towel will do its job, and it will grab all the lint off your clothes and all the, like if you got a lot of dog hair or something, but you will kill that towel.
Yeah.
It is a sacrifice. You will take that towel out, and then you also clean out your lint trap, and that works that way.
Yeah.
Taking a cheaper grade microfiber and putting it in with higher grade microfiber doesn't work all the time, because sometimes that cheaper grade microfiber is the source of linting.
Yeah.
And what happens is you then contaminate your entire batch of nice microfibers with lint from this junky microfiber.
Correct, yeah.
So the best case scenario to remove lint from your microfiber towels is to do a process of elimination, meaning wash a batch, split them in half, wash the first batch, then the second batch, then check those towels, see which ones are linting, and then split those batches from the first batch that needs to be split into two, and the second batch needs to be split into two, and do the same thing. And it's literally a process of elimination.
Yeah.
So that's the best way to remove lint that gets lodged in the towels. So Luke said, message retracted. Jamie the cleaner says, bigger is always better. $10 is fine. Go all out.
Okay.
Betax says, apparently that will grab up all the lint. Also, Anthony, how much power clean did you use to revitalize those towels? They got very hydrophobic.
Let me see where that is. Question. Okay. So, gosh. I mean, are you talking about when I soaked them? Because I'll soak them. I won't necessarily put them in the washer with power clean all the time. So if I soak them, gosh, I mean, I'm doing, because I have a gallon of it. I'm guessing I'm probably putting in maybe like 6 ounces or something like that into a bucket, and then probably adding maybe a little over a gallon of water, and then just soaking those towels. And like I said, that's like a last resort type of thing. Like if I can fix it, I can fix it. But then you have to remember, I'm spoiled here, so I can always just say, well, maybe I might toss these and get some new ones. But I understand not everybody can do that, so I would say you try that. Let them soak for an overnight or a day, and then pull them out, and then just do a standard wash. And you could wash them alone with vinegar if you want to do that, or you can wash them with a little bit of detergent and throw some vinegar in there and see if that zaps it out.
Yep.
There.
I'd buy 2 cup movements. John Hull says, ooh, whiskey style mugs. Riley S., I'd buy 2 standard size mugs for sure. One for home, one for work.
There you go.
Bait Addict, last question. Any tips applying crystal sealant? Using an applicator is no-go. Hardens too quickly, even when doing half a door. Spraying seems to be the best option, but is still not too fun removing. So Bait Addict, try throwing it in a foam cannon. Put a couple ounces in a foam cannon in your MTM, and then just spray it on the car and rinse it off, and then make sure you clean out your foam cannon very well. Maybe run some all-purpose cleaner through it or something. Luke Berge, I hope a bunch of you will be able to make it to the Detailers Domain event. We will be making a podcast for my channel with G. Davis, Hans, Anthony, and myself with special guests.
Oh, my.
That'll be exciting. Jamie the Cleaner, take Dane's shirt and put it on a mug. Bait Addict says there are only specific towels that lint, One Eagle Edgeless 500, and some other towels. So even washing them within the batch doesn't actually affect the other Eagles, etc. Well, that's good. G. Davis says, how about a fragrance from the rest of the TRC personalities?
What would yours be?
Mine would be Versace Man. Dane would be Sausage.
No, Dane.
Well, I mean, if we were to pick like a low, a mid,
If
and a
we
top note, what would we do?
custom made our own?
Dane's
Yeah.
scent would be the Montero.
No. See, I'm going for more
It's
of
a
a
little
whiskey with like a
tingly.
citrus
It's a
top
little,
note, kind of.
Yeah.
So you
Something
like the
woodsy.
You know what?
Party?
Maybe we should just probably just make some sense for
That would be
everybody.
pretty
Just
funny.
Yeah.
everybody spend the $40, whatever it is,
I'll
just
do
to
it. Yeah.
just to make it and
You
see
guys
what it
have
comes out to.
$40 to spare?
That's what I'm
I'll
saying.
make
right?
it happen.
I don't.
G. Davis says, Jamie the cleaner, I'll need a piece of those shirt mug profits. That is true. That is the G. Davis special Arbor Day 2019 shirt from the great G. Davis. DJ Donnelly, did Metallica have a hand in the Power Rangers theme? No idea.
To my knowledge.
Luke Berge, the special guest will be the iRock woman and the kid Dane kicked down the stairs. We will have a GoFundMe started for Hans, iRock woman, and Dane's kicking bag bully. Bait Addict, what? You can use in the foam cannon? Sounds like God mode to me. Dilution? Honestly, 2 ounces. Just put 2 ounces of the product in your foam cannon. That's really all I would use. You go any more than that, you kind of clog up your foam cannon. You also kind of over apply it on the car. I found 2 ounces work the best. So, Anthony, any chance you could ask your friend All Day Anthony to show a video on how crystal sealant is holding up on his sealant on his
curious
Civic?
to know.
And would crystal sealant in the foam cannon work on a stainless steel semi-trailer? Yes, Luke, it would. Tiffany Redmond, that this time of year exactly.
Nope,
I give myself a okay. That's gross.
Wow. Okay.
Ooh, man.
That's
nice.
a nope.
Tim, you're usually faster at that.
Yeah, that's
Tim might be in the bathroom right now. Let's go
Impression.
ahead.
I mean,
and
we
get
heard it
that
was
out
a
of
fun
there.
half, but somebody had too much
Yeah.
fun, clearly.
Yikes. Good catch, Morgan.
Yep.
So basically, going back to what you were saying, Bait Addict.
Riley, as I was just reading. Wow.
Hold on. So I will ask him how it's holding up, but based off of the pictures and based off of what I've seen in person, it looks fantastic, and it looks like it's extremely glossy and very durable. But that's as much as I can say from a third-party perspective.
Okay. Riley S. laughs. Hey, it's Barry, says the age-old question, pancakes or waffles?
Waffles.
Waffles.
But, matter of fact, JDM or German engineering?
Great question.
For me, German engineering pancakes. German pancakes, one of my favorite.
German.
And
Belgian
here I thought it was
waffles.
going to be about cars.
German pancakes are one of my favorite breakfast dishes, like an elephant ear
So
pancake.
what's weird is when I was
also known as a baby Dutchman.
when I was in Germany, there was actually no German pancake there. I don't think it's a
They're
real
just
thing.
called pancakes there?
They're just elephant ear pancakes.
Okay,
There's a lot of more egg.
gotcha.
You put them in a dish and you cook them. They're
Yeah.
flawless.
Yeah.
They're so good.
Dense.
Yeah, I think I love waffles, right? I think
Yeah.
waffles are delicious. But that's the thing though. I crave pancakes. I never crave waffles.
Yeah.
So what does that say
Because
about
me?
I think pancakes is like a piece of cardboard that you pour, like
Morgan.
wet piece of cardboard that you pour maple syrup on. Which
Okay,
is
obviously
just
she's never
disgusting.
been to the famous International House of Pancakes.
Oh,
That is the worst.
that's
And
right.
see,
Okay.
when I
She
when I
has
think of
Shame.
pancakes, I think of IHOP.
So what have you ever been to the Griddle?
Yes.
The griddle
Have you ever
is-
been to the Pancake House in McCall, Idaho?
Yes.
Ooh.
Have you been
You
to
talk about bears.
Eggman
They're
and
all
Earl's.
over the place.
They
there.
are.
Who?
Eggman and Earl?
No.
Fine pancake house that I've been taking. My kids love the pancakes from there.
Uh-huh.
I've had the griddle pancakes. Too much baking soda in the pancakes. Too many
How do you-
chunks of baking soda.
Really?
Yeah.
So
my.
when
So
I
you
go
bite
to
in
the
and you're like,
griddle,
"Whoa,
when
it's
I
all
go to the
baking
griddle,
soda."
I get the #1 combination with a raspberry crepe, scrambled eggs, and bacon.
Okay, so you don't get a pancake. You get
So
a
I don't
crepe.
get a pancake.
So Morgan, I
anyway.
think you would like a German pancake, the elephant ear pancake, otherwise known as a.
Because here's the
fluffy
thing,
Dutchman.
it's okay.
It's a baby Dutchman is what
I
it's
just
called.
want crispy.
I used to call them fluffy Dutchmans to my buddy because his mom used to make them all the time.
and
He's
there's
like,
more
"They're not."
surface area for the syrup to go into,
It's
and
like
it's a
very
crispy
big.
bite.
It's like a big crepe that's crispy.
Like here's this is
would
answering the
love it, I
same
think.
question: is do you like soggy fries or crispy fries? Because people who say that they want pancakes probably also like soggy fries,
Well-
and y'all are criminals.
Well, my
Morgan,
daughter calls
I'm a
them
waffle fan.
pancakes.
Take it this way. There's no such thing as a pancake fry, but there is a waffle fry.
That is true.
Exactly.
That
So I
is
think
true.
Chick-fil-A's on the right track
Yeah.
here.
So before we jump to the next thing, I will say JDM or German engineering on cars. I feel as though when it comes to JDM engineering, at least for the 90s
Dane,
famous
I don't think
stuff,
that's what he's talking about. I think it's pancakes. So let's just
Germans
leave
look
it
at
that.
something and go, it's not complicated enough. We
Right.
need to make it more complex.
No, they make sure
Whereas
it's
in the
precise
case of
and
JDM, they
perfect.
look at it and they go, how can we simplify this and help increase reliability but still have it function the way it's
So
supposed to?
I've
what
never
hap-
had a Japanese pancake, but I will say that German pancakes
So
are my favorite.
Japanese pancakes are referred to as jiggly pancakes, right?
Okay.
And I actually think they look delicious. They're very fluffy. They have a jiggle to them. It's kind of like, I don't know. It's kind of like
It jiggles.
it jiggles and
Yeah,
it looks
okay.
good.
That sounds delicious. Bait Addict, does
Okay.
it affect its durability? Just spray on, leave for a moment, rinse off. No, it does kind of shorten the durability a little bit, but it provides crazy hydrophobics. So
It's such a tough product anyway.
Luke Berge, can we get a podcast with All Day Anthony? You could use a voice changer and blur his face. That's true, we could. Riley S., what's everyone's favorite ice cream flavor? I like every type of ice cream. Doesn't matter the
But you have to
flavor.
pick one.
I don't have a flavor to
Okay,
choose.
you have to.
Then I choose vanilla.
Are you kidding me? Out of every flavor that
Because I
exists.
can
All these
always-
options.
Because I can add to it.
What? No,
No,
but
you
I
have
mean,
to
like,
eat it
come
straight.
on,
With
like
one
you're
for the
You
rest
have
of your
to
life.
eat it
stuck with
clean.
it.
If I was stuck for one for the rest of my life,
Yeah.
Can't add anything.
there's two kinds.
It just
Okay.
is.
And it would be either Ben and Jerry's fish food or it's like a
waiting for
Tillamook
it.
mudslide.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Dane, you?
I like the one
Or-
that has Snickers in it or Butterfingers in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
Morgan.
Chocolate chip cookie dough.
Okay.
Yeah, dude, I'm pretty much almost on that. I either say I'm on that cookie dough train as well, or I'm a big fan of Rocky Road because I love the texture.
Yeah, Carly loves she loves Rocky Road.
Yeah. So that's just me.
All right. 20 seconds. All right. Luke Berge says a waffle is literally just a pancake with abs. G.
And
Davis
everyone
says
loves
with those
some nice abs.
special guests,
It's an
I'm now
edgy
very
pancake.
excited for
Yeah.
Detailer's Domain. Luke, please reach out to my two ex-wives. They definitely show up.
Oh.
Hey, it's Barry, but Japanese pancakes are fluffy as hell.
Hey.
They are. Andy Sharp, who's the best singer between the four of you? No, we don't know.
Probably
I used to be
Dane.
in a choir.
Dane.
Dane
He's
is the
not
best.
anymore, so that'll
I'm
tell
not
you
anymore.
something.
I think I lost that
G.
skill.
Davis, anyone else want to bring? G, anyone else you want to bring?
You got to
Luke,
flow through these. You got to.
I can tell you there are some amazing German products like Nexet, Killam Event Cleaner. Hans says, okay, let's talk about Waxstock hotels. Looking for a good one. In Coventry, Hans, it's best to stay at the Rico Arena. G. Davis, you'll always pay more for the fluffy Dutchman.
Yeah, you will.
Bait Addict, would it withstand the torture Dane puts his car through the constant touchless washes?
Probably not.
I space it out. I only do it like
actually
once a
might.
month.
It actually might because
Well,
we
yeah,
did
he only
put
washes
crystal
his
seal
car
on
once
there.
a month.
It's
Yeah.
a really great product. CC Detailing.
He likes it to stay
When you guys
big.
go to Detailer's Domain event, you have to go to the Rocky Hill Tavern for burgers. They rock, and they were on diners, drive-ins, and drives. Poor Jag. Beta, thanks guys. We'll be see you around next week. CC Detailing might be far, but worth it. Shane McKinney, hey, what's up, Rag Company? When polishing, what's
Oh,
your
no.
red flag to not polish anymore? Most paint gauges are not accurate. How many mils? Shane, I've never really hit that. Because usually the paint is so deteriorated that you find out, or the customer stated, "Hey, careful, it's really thin up there." I did a 280Z that had very thin original clear coat on top, and yeah, I just put out my thing and saw it and was like, I'm gonna stay away from it. So Hans G. Davis, if you only knew about the real Dutch fluffiness, laughing face. Luke Berge, see y'all next time. Hans says TRC mugs, big fat yes. Riley says, thanks, everyone. John Hole says, Hans, hit me up. I will help you out with hotels.
Yes.
Hans says, John Hole, okay, I'll send you a message tomorrow.
Take
All right,
him up on
guys.
that.
All right, guys.
Great
We
idea.
will see you later. Have a good one, and hope you guys all have a happy Valentine's Day.
Adios.